Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Byers Field in Parma. It's the WKYC.com high school football game of the week. Playoff action. It is Showdown Friday. The Mentor Cardinals, the top-ranked team in the state in Division I, set to take on the St. Edward Eagles, their old nemesis from some great matchups in the past. I'm Dave DeNatale alongside D-Man Dennis Manoloff. There's D-Man. We're a little bit cramped here, so forgive us if you won't see us as much, but you'll hear us, and you'll hear, D-Man, a game that I think we've been waiting all year for here in Division I. The two best teams in the state ready to lock horns for the second time this year.
Yeah, you've got legendary coaches in Trevisano and Lombardo, and obviously storied programs. And, this has been a much-anticipated matchup.
Yeah, the battle lines were really drawn for this game in Week 1. Mentor with a come-from-behind win, 29-28. Ian Kipp scoring the game-winning touchdown with under 2 minutes to go. Since that time, neither team has lost. You've got 12-0 Mentor and 11-1 St. Edward. They are here. To the winner of tonight's game will move on and play in the state semis next Friday night. There are a lot other implications here in this game, that we'll go through here as we get underway. St. Edward won the toss, and the Eagles elected to defer, so that means Ian Kipp and the Cardinal offense will start first as St. Edward will kick it off. Grant Seringer has it teed up and ready. Back deep to receive. You've got Luke Floria, Justin Luke, back deep to receive. It's going to be returnable at the 14-yard line. Floria will try to get outside to the 20, and he'll get run out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard line. Ian Kipp is the quarterback. Brian Trobel, the running back. He's had a great year for the Cardinals. Justin Luke, Nolan Vernon, R.J. Fulmer, and Luke Floria are the wide receivers. And behind a very good offensive line, Hunter Kalau, Byron Floyd, Stan Zalewski, Chris Hatcher, and Tommy Shea tackle to tackle.
Yeah, right out of the gate, St. Ed's kick unit does an excellent job, pins Mentor inside the 20.
First and 10 as Kipp will go in that spread, and he will keep it himself on first down, crosses the 20, and he'll be put down at about the 21-yard line. C.J. Hankins, the middle linebacker for the Eagles, makes the tackle. They'll spot it right at the 21-yard line. You mentioned the coaches, D-Man. Steve Trevisano in his 23rd year as the head coach of the Cardinals. This will be his final year, win, lose, or draw. And the one thing he's been lacking is a flag comes down before they get that play off.
False start.
This is a false start. It's a state championship. They've had a number of opportunities. They've had a number of runner-up finishes and trips to the Final Four, but they've never quite gotten over the hump. And everybody you talk to in Mentor says, why not now? Why not going out in style?
Yeah, I hear you, Dino. That's the thing. This team can't worry about that legacy right now. They just have to win the game.
Kipp will fire one left side. Pass caught at the 25 out to the 26-yard line. So they get back the yardage lost and then some. That was R.J. Fulmer making the catch. And they'll mark it at the 26. That'll bring a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Dino, I was talking to some people who know Mentor well. They say they like to spread you out, but they are a running team. They're capable of running even though they go into the spread.
Well, and Kipp is a guy that is a dual threat quarterback, and on 3rd down, he's going to go ahead and run it. And on a second effort, I think he's going to be close. Close enough to maybe take a look at this.
I don't know.
I think you're right. He's going to be short. Yeah, I agree with you. They're going to mark it at the 28. He may be a yard shy. I thought he was a little bit closer. But Kipp averaged 8 yards per carry this year. But in that case, they're not going to give him the first down. He's going to be a yard shy. And we will see Jacob Stereo punt it for the Cardinals. And if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be Wainwright, I believe, back deep to receive.
I said bad spot. Obviously I'm not down there, but
it looked like he got closer to the 29 than what they marked it is. The kick is away here. And it's going to be kicked away from Wainwright and going to go out of bounds inside the 40, and they'll mark it near the 36-yard line, maybe the 35 of the Eagles. St. Edward led by Connor O'Malley, the senior quarterback. Joe Formani, who we saw a little bit last year in the state championship as a backup running back. He's the starter. Formani has accounted for 28 touchdowns this year, 24 rushing, 2 receiving, 2 in the return game. Wainwright, Simon, Lombardo are your wide receivers. 3 wide receivers set on 1st and 10. O'Malley to the shotgun. Ball spotted right at the Eagle 35, and they'll go to Formani on 1st down. Runs left side. He's got room. Flag down. Formani to the 50. This is going to come back as he'll be put down at the 45-yard line of the Cardinals. Devin Harper made the tackle, but
it's a hold.
Yeah, thrown in the exact direction you would think it was a hold as he was making that cut to the outside.
Yeah, you wondered why that hole opened up so big, and apparently that's the reason, because of a hold.
Now, as far as turnovers go, not penalties, but just think about turnovers. St. Edward's turnover margin is +8. Mentor's is +22.
Wow.
So they rarely beat themselves in both cases. They rarely beat themselves, but each team with a penalty here in the early going. 9:53 to play in this first quarter, no score, and that holding penalty will move it back to the Eagle 24-yard line and bring up a 1st and 21. So you've got 2 receivers left side for O'Malley, 1 to the right, Formani to the left, and Formani will get the carry.
Nice cut back.
Yeah, he'll cross the middle, across the 30, and take it out to the 32. So he gets about 8 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down, called about 13. The offensive line for the Eagles, Ronan Chambers is the left tackle, Nathan Stewart at left guard, Devin Crowder at center, James Gaycheck at right guard, and Brian Kilbane at right tackle with Nick DeTore as the tight end. 2nd and 13 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 32, and again, it'll be a 2 wide receiver set to the left. And they move DeTore out on the split now. And this time it'll be O'Malley keeping it, and he's going to get put down behind the line of scrimmage, back at about the 30-yard line. Cardinals not buying that fake at all.
That's exactly right. That was well read by the interior of the Mentor line. That's scouting right there. They knew not to bite.
Sorry, D-Man. Preston Cardina and Greg Perdina, the 2 interior guys, combined on that tackle. It's going to be now 3rd and 14, back to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I'm going to be, the viewers can't see it, nor do they care, or the listeners, but I'm working around a big fat pole right in front of my face. So it's tough to see right now, but I trust Dino right now.
3rd and 13, back to throw O'Malley. Steps up, he's going to run, he's got room. To the 35, left side to the 40. Got a block, and puts his head down right at the 45, and they should give him forward progress to the 1st down.
That's a terrific play. It almost looked like he got out of there so quickly, out of the pocket so quickly. You wonder if it was almost a design. Yeah. He did look, but then he took off. So I wonder if he had it in his mind, if I see a crease, I'm going.
O'Malley averaged 6 yards per carry this year, 674 yards in all, with 12 rushing touchdowns. That was a heck of a run there. Needed 14, got about 16, and a 1st down for the Eagles now at the 46. On the ground for Monty, runs left, and lost the football, and still on the ground, and I think one of St. Edward's offensive linemen pounced on it
75.
Back at the 45-yard line. Ooh.
Big number 75, would that be
Thomas Aiden?
Yep. Thomas Aiden, and here's the thing, the ball's out, and the initial recovery attempt was St. Ed's. And it popped out of the first St. Ed's guy. And so the second guy coming in, Aiden, was able to recover. That's a huge pickup.
Well, we
job
said
by Aiden to recover.
Mentor, their defense has 12 fumble recoveries this year. That was very close to being 13. 2nd and 11, they'll go back to Formani, picks and weaves to the 50, and then keeps his feet chopping, and he'll be put down at the Cardinal 49-yard line. So he gets 6 on that run, and it'll set up 3rd and 5 after that loss. 7:05 to play first quarter. No score here at Byers Field, Bolton Stadium. Division I, Region I final. The Mentor Cardinals, St. Edward Eagles. They have met 12 times before tonight in the regular season and postseason, each team winning 6 times. 3rd and 5. O'Malley, quick drop, fires right side. First down as the catch is made at the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. Michael Lombardo makes that catch, and that's a first down for the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't know, Dino. That's almost too easy. Too much of a cushion there, I felt. But
and on that quick drop, O'Malley just kind of, it was like a one-read throw there.
Yeah. He knew exactly what he wanted to do with it.
So the ball at the 40. 4 wide receivers this time, and flags fly as Formani gets the carry, and it's going to be another penalty. False start against St. Ed's.
And what's interesting there, Dino, is you had Mentor coming with a second-level blitz, and obviously the false start negated the play.
So instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 15. Back it up.
Second penalty now on this drive for the Eagles. We're already about halfway through this first quarter. Ball at the 45. It'll be a 1st and 15 for the Eagles. But this is what they did last year when these two teams met in the playoffs, talking about St. Ed's. They played keep away against Mentor and really won the time of possession game. Won that ball game 24-14 right here en route to the state championship. As O'Malley on 1st and 15 sets the throw, has all day to throw over the middle, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line. Was looking for Wainwright. And that all a little bit too high for him. It'll be 2nd and 15.
That had some juice.
Yeah, it did.
It looked like he wanted to go really deep, and then, maybe to the sidelines, but then he fired it hard over the middle. It was just too high.
Waiting to get our first look at Montori Foster. They'll bring out Nathan Simon. Will go out wide right, and you've got Wainwright moves out wide left here. On the shotgun. They will go to Formani, runs left. He's got room to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, and down to the 29-yard line for a first down. That's the play they wanted to run initially when this drive started, when they got the holding penalty. And again, Formani, you mentioned it, D-Man, he makes great cuts downfield.
Yeah, he's a one-cut guy, or at least in this offense. You've got to make that first cut count, and he does. And that was a terrific play by Formani.
16 on that gain, and it's a first down as they'll mark it at the 29-yard line of the Eagles. Formani gets the carry again, and short yardage, actually no gain. They really did a good job locking him down at the 29-yard line. Greg Perdina, the junior defensive end, on the stop.
I freely admit to some paranoia in this press box, Dino, because to the left of us is I want to say the Ed's coaches, right?
Yes.
Ed's coach, and I don't want to look even remotely in that direction.
No.
Because I'm afraid they're going to accuse me of trying to.
I feel like there needs to be a screen there.
I'm not doing anything on purpose, believe me.
2nd and 10. O'Malley goes to Formani, runs left to the 25-yard line, and then gets pushed back. They may not even give him forward progress to the 25, so about a 3-yard gain for Joe Formani. 1,500 yards this year for Formani coming into tonight, 1,503 to be precise.
Yeah, I really like what I've seen from him so far. He keeps the pad level high, the legs churning, and does a nice job.
It will be 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 receiver left. That's Foster. 3rd and 7 now. Pistol look for the Eagles from the 26. Quick throw right. Whoa. Looks deep to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown.
Oh, what a throw.
Mackenzie Wainwright makes the catch on the right side. And the Eagles have drawn first blood with 4:08 to go in the first quarter.
Can't begin to tell you how good of a throw that was, Dave DeNatale. I mean, what a beautifully thrown ball. A nice sight adjustment by the receiver at the very last second. Just a well-executed play.
26 yards on that hookup for Connor O'Malley to Mackenzie Wainwright. 23rd touchdown pass of the year for O'Malley, and for Wainwright, TD catch number 5.
Yeah, and
beauty.
O'Malley dropped it in the bucket there. It was just a beautiful pass. And
here's Grant Seringer for the extra point. It is up on its way, and it is good. Seringer now 60 of 64 on his PATs this year, and the Eagles strike first and lead it 7-0 with 4:08 to play here in the first quarter. It was a time-consuming, effective drive by St. Edward.
I mean, you couldn't ask for much more to the start of this game for St. Ed. Number one, they defer. So they're saying we expect our defense to hold. The defense does after the kickoff stop Mentor from inside, from getting it beyond the 20. And then you get the ball back and you have a penalty that sets you back right away, but you overcome that, go down the field with some really nice play calls. And by the way, it is confirmed that next to us is the Eds coaching staff because they went bananas when that pass was made, and they were high-fiving each other and yelling. So whoever made that play call next door to us deserves props.
Yeah, dialed up a good one there.
But you had to have – listen, you can call the greatest play in the world, Dave, but if the execution isn't there, it won't matter. And that was a beautifully thrown ball. It had serious hang time, in order for the receiver to run underneath it, and it was placed perfectly, and the receiver also did an excellent job.
All right, so Saringer will kick it off. And coming out, excuse me, Aiden Buckley takes it across the 20 and goes to the 21-yard line. Excuse me, folks. Nothing worse than having a coughing fit when you're trying to do play-by-play and you don't have access to a dump button. Okay. That said, Mentor will take over now. And you said it on the first kickoff. You like the approach on the kicks there for St. Ed's. They're putting a lot of hang time in it. It's not that they're not trying to kick it away from the returners, but they're putting their special teams in the best unit to best way to get down there and make the stops.
Directional kicks, and there's a method to what they're doing, and now you've got only at the 21 to start the drive.
1st and 10 for Ian Kipp and company. And Kipp will look over the middle, pass caught at the 35-40 to the 45, and finally slipping down at the 46-yard line. Luke Floria made the catch, and it's a first down. But Floria's a good one. 5'10", 175 pounds. That's his 46th catch of the year.
It's a really nice play fake and throw. Excellent job by Mentor to get themselves some traction here.
And Kipp quickly to the line and wants to go, and this time they'll go to Trobel. And Trobel will kind of follow his blocks and just sneaks his way to the 50-yard line, gets 4 yards on first down. Brian Trobel averaging 8 yards per carry this year, and he gets 4 on that gain. It'll be 2nd and 6. We are under 3:30 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Eagles, but the Cardinals on the march here now. As Ian Kipp, with 3 receivers strike, has a high snap, loses the football, and I think he was able to go on it before Alexander Colangelo, the defensive tackle, was going to pounce on it for the Eagles. Very fortunate to maintain possession.
Colangelo is upset with himself because he thought he had that one, but Kipp did an excellent job to recover.
Now, at loss of 2 on that exchange there, or that fumble there, and now it's 3rd and 8 at the Cardinal 48-yard line. And again, same look, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Trobel stands to Kipp's left, who wants to throw. Kipp rolls right, looking, sets up, fires deep right side. It is caught. Nope. He had it, and he couldn't hold it at the 29-yard line. Wow. Boy, they had him there. Justin Luke was the intended receiver and trying to make a diving catch. I thought he came up with it, but just couldn't hang on.
Yeah, you got Kipp vacating the pocket, and, I mean, he made a heck of a throw. He really did. Kipp made a really good throw on the run, down the right sideline. The receiver just wasn't able to hang on.
So close. But that botched exchange on 2nd down really kind of stifles what was a good Cardinal drive, and we'll see Jacob Stereo to punt it to Wainwright. Wainwright in single safety at the 15 and makes the catch at the 19 and is immediately tackled. So the Cardinals do a good job on special teams to bring him down. So they'll mark it at the 19-yard line, and it's Marco Toth is credited with the tackle on special teams. Nicely done.
That's the thing, Dino. I don't know how you see that number on the jump man uniforms, but or you probably just know the player now. You don't even know the number.
Yeah, it's not easy. Believe me, these jerseys are beautiful, but they're impossible to read.
Toth did a nice job there because he didn't have a lot of support behind.
No, he didn't. He had gotten down there ahead of everybody. 2:29 to go, first quarter, and the Eagles leading 7-0, take over at the 19. They'll go to Formani, running left to the 20, outside of the 25, flag down, and Formani goes down at the 29-yard line. Another holding is my partner right on top of it.
Same area, left side, so
just trying to clear. It's either the wide receiver or the left tackle, I think, trying to clear out that gap on the left side.
Yeah. Coach Lombardo is obviously going to be upset with what's happening on the left side of his line or on the edge.
So this holding penalty is gonna pin the Eagles back to the 14-yard line, and it's gonna make it now a 1st and 15. 2:23 to go here in this first quarter. 7-0 in favor of the Eagles. Somebody was yelling.
Somebody's upset
about in the
something.
booth to our left, yeah. O'Malley ready and fakes to Formani, throws right side, pass is caught. Foster's got it at the 19 and put down right at about the 20-yard line where the initial line of scrimmage was. Montori Foster, that's his 38th catch of the year. He is, our Pat Chiesa did a story on him earlier this year at WKYC and WKYC.com. A young man who hadn't played football since his middle school days and convinced to come on this year by Tom Lombardo, and he's got a scholarship waiting for him at Michigan State. And he has had a tremendous year. 2nd and 9, O'Malley will go for a little Jets pass over to the right side. Pass caught back at the 15 out to about the 22. And on that catch, was that Formani on the catch?
I thought there was some room inside there, Dino. I really did. If he cut in, maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like he was trying to, and somebody flashed into his vision.
Yeah, it was Lombardo on the bubble screen catch, and Jackson Paglio, the outside linebacker for the Cardinals, made a good one-on-one tackle that got him for about just a 2-yard gain. So they move it up to the 24, and it's now 3rd and 5 from there. O'Malley throws. Lombardo got his catch again at the 31-yard line, and there's going to be a late hit. When Michael Lombardo went down, somebody from Mentor jumped on him and jumped near the helmet area. And in this time right now, anything leading with the helmet, doing anything with the helmet is going to get called.
I'll tell you what, Dino, this is the first time I've seen O'Malley throw the ball. And I'll tell you, he's got some zip to it.
Yes.
He really can throw a fastball. And that was a fastball that was right on target.
So get the first down on the completion from O'Malley to Lombardo, and then you'll tack on 15 for the personal foul. 54 seconds to go here in this opening quarter. Eagles leading at 7-0, and that penalty will move the ball up near the 46-yard line of St. Edward. Foster and Wainwright out wide right. Simon goes wide left. 1st and 10 now for the Eagles, and they've gotten out of the bad field position. Here comes Formani, as he'll run to his right, and he gets pushed back right about at midfield. He gets about 3, maybe 4 on first down, and St. Edward only has to really run one more play here before the end of the quarter.
Formani proving he can run between the tackles, outside the tackles. Now, he's a really versatile back.
2nd and 6. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. And now Formani stands behind O'Malley in the pistol. And they'll go back to Formani. He'll be put down behind the line of scrimmage, back at about the 48-yard line.
Slow developing play there, Dino. I didn't understand why it took so long for that exchange.
Give the TFL to Jackson Paglio, the outside linebacker. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Your score after 1, it's the Eagles of St. Edward 7 and the Mentor Cardinals nothing. Only score of this game, a 26-yard touchdown pass from Connor O'Malley to Mackenzie Wainwright, but that tackle for loss will bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Cardinals, for the Eagles, when we return back in their own territory at their 48.
I'm just standing because I got to stretch.
I don't blame you.
I have got to stretch.
You feel like a sardine.
Oh,
here.
It's tough for,
it's tough for one. Yeah,
6 foot and above.
Oh, yeah.
This is not the press box for you.
No.
So,
I was told that, and I think I did see him. I don't know where he is now, but Kirtland head coach Tiger Laverty is here taking in the ball game tonight. His team will play tomorrow in their regional final against Manchester, and if we get a chance, if I see him, if he pops over here, we'll try to say hi to him at some point. But this is one of you and I were talking about it as we were walking upstairs here. There were 4 marquee matchups tonight in divisions 1, 2, and 3, especially in regional finals. This game here tonight between St. Edward and Mentor, Avon and Avon Lake, Hoban and Massillon in Division 2, and then Aurora and Chardon in Division 3. I mean, a football lover's dream in Northeast Ohio.
100%. Yeah, it's exciting. All right, we got it.
Oh, that's okay.
Double check.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, you and I both go. Oh, that's not good.
Battery power low.
Yeah. Nothing worse than you get the battery power low on your phone, but then you realize that the charger was unplugged by my knee, probably. So, okay. With all that, we are back to action here. It'll be, as we flip the field here, it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Eagles at their own 48, already leading 7-0. And this time it'll be 3 receivers right and 2 to the left. So an empty backfield for Connor O'Malley on 3rd and 8. O'Malley to throw. All kinds of time. Looks deep. Has and wide open at the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Michael Lombardo.
Wow.
Right down the seam. He was wide open from 52 yards out.
What a throw again. This guy, O'Malley, holy smokes.
I mean, that couldn't have been better thrown if he tried. Unbelievable.
And great separation. Great separation by Lombardo. As you said, right down the seam.
Yeah. I mean, it couldn't have been any easier. That's Michael Lombardo's 2nd touchdown catch of the year. And for Connor O'Malley, TD pass number 24. He is putting on a clinic. First half, 13-0.
I like about O'Malley after this kick, Dino, you call it here.
Saringer's kick is up, and it is good to make it 14-0 St. Ed's.
Deep into the Mentor band. He hit a bomb there. But, the O'Malley, right out of the gate, you see he sticks his back foot in the ground and just unloads. But here's the thing. Already in this game, we've seen the fastball.
Yep.
We've seen the changeup.
Yes.
We've seen maybe a curveball in there. I mean, he is not strictly a gunner. He's out there putting touch on the ball. His 2 touchdown passes have had plenty of arc. And then when he needs to heat it up, he heats it up.
Yeah. Scoreboard. Massillon in Division 2 leading Hoban 14-7 in the first quarter. Avon Lake over Avon 3-0 in the first. This is a stunner in Division 3. Chardon, we just saw a week ago, they're shutting out Aurora 16-0 in the first quarter. I mean, they
Wait a minute. How can you tell me that's a stunner? When we watch Chardon,
you haven't seen Aurora this year?
Breakfast.
Yes.
Breakfast. How could we go against Chardon after what we saw last week?
I'm not surprised they're winning. I'm surprised they're putting a 16-0 spot on Aurora, though. Mansfield shutting out Sandusky, also in Division 3, 9-0. Mogador, don't forget about the Wildcats in D6. They lead Springfield local 7-0. And as we get the kick away from Seringer, and again he angles it to the right. Florio will bring it out to the 15, to the 19, reversed his field, and down he goes at the 18-yard line. The winner of this game will face either Pickerington Central or Groveport next week, and Central leads Groveport-Madison 6-0 now in the second quarter.
Dino, let me just say this right out of the chute. Special teams for St. Ed. You had 3 kickoffs. All 3 of them high and short of the end line to get a return, and the starting field position for Mentor, the 19, the 21, and now the 19 again.
It's like they've been living right at that spot.
Tremendous job by St. Ed kickoffs.
you know, it's an absolute team effort there. As they'll go to Trobel on first down, and Brian will take it out to the 24, and he gets about 6 on that first down gain. You know, again, you credit your kicker. I mean, Saringer's putting it where he needs to, but the coverage is good. I mean, it's that doing the 111th.
Yeah, there's a method to these kicks.
2nd and 4. Trobel will move now to the right of Ian Kipp. 3 receivers right, and it'll be Trobel again. He is in trouble. Oh, he gets smacked back at the 21-yard line by Alexander Colangelo.
Wow.
I mean, stood him up and just rocked him back to the 23. And that was actually, I think, kind of a generous spot there by the officials. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 6. We're under 11 minutes to play in the first half. 14-0, St. Edward leading Mentor.
Already a huge down right
here.
here.
Agreed. Delayed blitz. Kipp in trouble. Down he goes. Back at the 15-yard line. Donovan Stanley on the corner blitz. Kipp never saw him.
Yeah.
That's Stanley's 2nd sack of the year. He's done that before, and Kipp had no idea he was coming. The ball goes back to the 15.
Listen, that's a blindside corner blitz, but I'll tell you what, Dino, in that down and distance, that ball's got to be out. I mean, you got to get rid of that ball. There was too much time for the corner to get to the quarterback. The ball needed to be out by then.
Stereo will punt it again as he gets the kick away. It's high, but it's short. Very short, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the Mentor 30.
Readjust.
Right about the.
Wait.
Let's see, 32. They're going to mark it at the Mentor 32. So that is going to be about a 20. That's less than a 20-yard punt. That's about a 17-yard punt.
Help me out with that too. He's right. The side judge, I think, is running down to about the 39. Then he reroutes himself and goes back to the 32. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure either.
But it was a bad punt, and this is it. Listen, I'm going to talk about a nightmare start for the Mentor Cardinals. We're looking at it.
Yeah, this has been – and there was a flag down as well, so hang on for a second. And the Mentor Cardinals are clapping, so they may actually get a little bit of help here. I didn't see what the call was, but preliminary was against the Eagles.
Post kick.
Wait, was the penalty on St. Ed's or was it on Mentor? The Ed's players are backing up like it's on them.
So we'll see what the officials are going to have a 4-man powwow here and try to figure out what it is. The preliminary was it was on against St. Edward, but I didn't see what the call was. And like you said, D-Man, I don't know if that came mid-play or after the ball had sailed out of bounds. It's kind of a weird time. It was a shanked punt for a penalty to come down here, and we still don't have. Now we're going to have a 5th official discussed. Tom Lombardo's about 8 yards on the field, and Steve Trevisano on the other side is about 8 yards on the field going, what's the matter here, guys?
So that seems like a good time.
Holding against the Eagles.
What's weird is I don't know how St. Ed had enough time to hold.
Right.
Because that ball was out of bounds in
so
a blink.
Quickly. Absolutely. Very strange. All right. So
still incredible field position for St. Ed.
Yeah, they'll start now at their own, or I'm sorry, at the Mentor 42, excuse me. So they'll still get tremendous field position. Ends up being about a 25-yard exchange there after the punt. O'Malley ready to go from the 42 on first down. He wants to throw over the middle, caught by Wainwright at the 25, inside the 20 and down at about the 17-yard line. Another fastball by Connor O'Malley went low to Wainwright, who made a terrific catch.
It wasn't a perfect throw. It was a little bit low, but a nice snatch catch. And I'll tell you this, our guys to the left of us, Dino, are calling one whale of a game at this point.
Foster wide left, Trips wide right. Eagles already up 14-0 with 9:49 to go in the second quarter, and they're knocking on the door again. From about the 17, here comes Formani, breaks initial tackle, and then gets put down at the 16 by a host of gray jerseys. They might give him about a half yard if he's lucky. It'll be 2nd and long.
That was a nice sellout to the run by Mentor.
Bischoff, Paglio amongst those on that stop. So they'll say no gain on the play from the 16 and call it 2nd down and 10 from there. Foster will be wide to the left. You've got 2 receivers, Simon and Wainwright to the right. Formani to the left of O'Malley on the shotgun. Formani will run to his right, finds a hole to the 15. He's to the 10, and there's a holding. And
coming back.
Yeah, Formani got all the way down to the 2, but this one will come back at the 3rd time in the first half. We've seen a holding penalty on a Formani run.
Yeah. Formani, unfortunate. He's having his stats taken away. But you can hear the coaches, how angry they were.
Yelling at who's it on, who's it on. But in this case, the first couple of those holding penalties, I think, were on the left side of the offensive line and the wide receiver, that side. That one was on the right side. So they've been equal opportunity penalties, unfortunately. So that penalty will move it back to the 23.
And the St. Ed's coaches are getting a little sick of it.
Yeah.
They're like, wait a minute, we're not this bad, as far as holdings go.
It's going to be 2nd and 18. 9:01 to play in the first half. 14-0 Eagles. Again, it'll be 2nd and 18. Foster and Wainwright out to the left. Simon will go to the right. And they'll go back to Formani.
Wow.
Runs to his left. He's got room. He's to the 15. He's to the 10. And he'll be put down right about the 5-yard line. And this time, I don't see a flag.
Yeah, the St. Ed's coach is like, you better not throw a flag. Listen to this. I mean, what a misdirection. Beautiful cutback by the young fella. He really has good vision at the point of attack.
They mark it at the 4-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Eagles.
I don't know if that was designed to cut back, Dino, but either way, he made it happen because there was nothing going on the right side.
Out of the pistol, O'Malley gets the snap, gives Formani up the gut, and he will go in.
Uh-oh, wait a minute.
Well, wait a minute. I thought his knee...
It was easily a touchdown.
Oh, did he fumble?
Ball.
He fumbled, and Mentor's got it at the 1-yard line.
Forces a fumble in the end.
Have no idea who came up with it, but heads up by the Mentor Cardinals. They get the football at the 1.
See what happened. There is a replay.
We'll see.
That ball is out.
Yeah, the ball came out. We see the replay on the Jumbotron there to the right. Ball came out at the 1-yard line.
Yep, as he was breaking the plane, he's getting ready to break the plane. The ball comes out. You see him look back toward the football, and wow, what a break. Wow, you say break. I mean, good job by Mentor to force the fumble. And I mean, can you imagine this, Dino, at 21-0?
Yeah, and instead they get the stop. Mentor is now plus 23 in turnover margin.
I mean,
that is their 13th fumble recovery of the season.
Remains to be seen, but that might have been a game saver.
Absolutely.
Right there.
We'll see. Kip, though, will get the snap from the end zone. He's going to throw right. Pass is caught at about the 4-yard line, and they'll go out of bounds at about the, let's see, what they're going to spot this, at about the 10-yard line, I think. Looked like Justin Luke was the one who made that catch there, and it will be 2nd down and about 2. Actually, make it 2nd and 1. They'll give 9 on that pass to Luke. They're trying to give, at least for Mentor here, get some breathing room after getting that fumble recovery at the 1. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Trobel stands to Ian Kipp's right. Kip wants to throw, looks right, throws right, and pass was caught, and then a hit was delivered, and the ball popped loose, incomplete.
Yeah, tremendous PBU. I want to say that was, wow, it's hard to, I don't want to misidentify, but whoever it was out there, way, way out there
in the
darkness,
yeah,
was a heck of a pass breakup.
So over there on the far side, incomplete, 3rd down and 1. Kip will send a man in motion right to left. On 3rd and 1, Kip will keep it, and he'll get the first down out to about the 13-yard line.
And
that's
Dino,
a first down.
Dino, I don't want this to get glossed over, but what a gutsy call by the Mentor Cardinals on 1st and 10 from the 1 to throw the ball.
Give them some breathing room.
I guarantee you St. Ed's was expecting a run in that situation, and they threw it, and that helped them get the first down.
Now they have a little bit of room to work with on first down. Trovel runs left, gets to the 15, out to the 20, and to the 21-yard line. Good piece of running by Brian Trovel, as I think that was Lawson Nash who came over to help make the tackle, but he picks up a good chunk there on first down, about 8 yards.
Troble, the hero of last week, just, keeps the legs moving, and just an excellent job of running there.
220 yards last week over Canton McKinley. 2nd and 2, as Kip gets a high snap, pulls it down, gives Troble, and able to get the first down out to the 24-yard line. Almost a disaster. They've had a couple of high snaps to Ian Kip in this first half, but Kip did a good job keeping his composure and getting the ball to Troble for the first down.
I think it's fair to say Mentor's living on the edge right now. I mean, in
just
danger
a little bit.
Of going down 21-0. Crisis averted, a couple high snaps, but they're very much in this game, and they've got a first down now.
7:35 to go in the second quarter, and here goes Kip now on 1st and 10. Looks left, throws left, the pass is incomplete, was thrown behind his intended receiver, R.J. Fulmer, over on the left side, and Lawson Nash was over there on coverage with Donovan Stanley. It'll be 2nd and 10.
The velo was not the problem, but the location was the issue there, just too far behind the receiver, who did get his hands on it, but got to make that more catchable if you're the QB.
So that brings up 2nd down and 10. Cardinals will go trips left, one receiver right.
2nd and 10.
Long count here for Ian Kip. Looks to throw, has time, steps up, now he's in trouble. Rolls left, now he's going to roll right. Looks, he tries to set things up, stops, now he's going to run to the 25, and it'll dive out near the 28-yard line.
Kip doing the Fran Tarkenton special
exactly right
there.
Just kind of,
okey-doke in the backfield.
He'll kind of push his way, his receivers go, come on, move. Give him space and try to set things up. And he kept the play alive as long as he could and picked up about 5 yards on the run.
And, Dino, you credit Kip for not forcing that to the middle of the field. After he had avoided the initial rush and moved to the right, the temptation would have been to throw it over the middle, and he didn't do it, and it might have saved himself a pick.
All right, so here's 3rd and 5 now for the Cardinals. Ball at their own 29-yard line, and Kip wants to throw. Has time, now he's in trouble, gets out of one would-be tackler, a little shovel pass, and it'll be a first down, as I think that was Trovel who made that catch out to the 36-yard line, maybe the 37, but Ian Kip looked like Jeff Petrowski was about ready to sack him. He got himself out of trouble. And just that pop pass, as you said, to his running back.
Yeah, that's just a terrific improvisation there by the young man at quarterback for Mentor.
Ian Kip just one way or another, he's getting this drive going. He'll give to Troble, tries to get to the outside, cuts back inside, and brought down at the 40-yard line for a gain of 3. It will go you a 2nd down and 7, and I think San Edward just took their first time out with 5:59 to play in this first half. And here's the thing, D-Man. Cardinals have the ball at their own 40. They're starting to kind of stretch out this game and space the game. If they can take this ball downfield and score, it would be a 99-yard scoring drive if they got a touchdown. You talk about a momentum shift of pretty significant proportions when it looked like it was about to be 21-0 going the other way.
Yeah, this has been it was obviously a critical possession for Mentor because you get the turnover when you could have been down 21-0, but you still start at the 1. So it doesn't look great at all.
Right.
You could easily be punting out of your end zone if you're not careful. And instead, Mentor figures out a way to get out of that hole, get it near midfield, and there's no panic with this team. You can tell they're well coached because they're not panicking. They're not trying to get it all back in one play. And, this really is a very telling possession as we head toward halftime.
This first timeout taken by either team here in this first half. It'll be 2nd and 7 now for the Cardinals. Ball near the right hash at their own 40-yard line. As it'll be one receiver to the right, trips left. including Luke Floria. He and R.J. Fulmer over there on that left side. As Brian Trobel will stand to Ian Kipp's left. I think we're ready to go here. Okay, officials say let's get going here. 2nd and 7. And Kipp will roll left, fires left side, pass is caught. Trobel at the 42. He shed a would-be tackler, kept his feet going out to about the 43 to the 44-yard line.
Are you kidding me with this Trobel character? Wow.
I'll tell you,
man alive.
That was about as impressive as a 3-yard catch as you will ever see.
You talk about administering some punishment.
Because I think it was either a linebacker or a safety for the Eagles was coming over to kind of go head-to-head for a tackle. And Trobel's not a big guy by running back standards, 5'8", 175, but he is a strong young man and was able to shed it. Got 3 more. It's a 3rd and 4 here for the Cardinals. From their own 43. They'll go 2 receivers to each side. Kipp to throw. This time he's got time. Throws over the middle. Pass caught the 40. 35-30. Out to the 20. 15, 10, 5, and in. Touchdown, Luke Floria for the Cardinals.
There's your 99-yard drive, Dino.
99-yard touchdown drive. 57 yards on the Kipp to Floria hookup. And this game has an entirely new tone with 5:47 to go in the first half.
I mean, that's just a dart over the middle, and the receiver got the separation that he needed.
I'll tell you, Luke Floria can fly. That was an absolute bolt of lightning. Here's the extra point. Line drive kick for Andrew Smith is up, and it is good.
Dino.
Ball game.
These two teams, you're thinking it's going to be a classic before the game, right?
Yeah.
We're sitting at 14-0, inches away from 21-0, going, how in the world is this going to be a classic at 21-0?
Right.
All of a sudden, ball's on the ground, and Mentor goes 99 yards.
Classic, the other way.
Classic's back on.
Unbelievable.
I mean, this is incredible, the turnaround from 21-0 to 14-7 after a 99-yard drive.
And just a lot of little plays by the Cardinals to set up the 57-yard touchdown. You know, Ian Kipp keeping plays alive. Brian Trobel keeping plays alive. And then sets up for the big bolt of lightning to Luke Floria.
Dino, I'm going to go way back to the 1-yard line. I thought that the key to this drive, other than the touchdown, of course, was that first down pass, where a lot of people probably thought Mentor was going to just be conservative.
Right.
Run it, maybe, probably punt because they don't want to turn the ball over. And no, they came out and they threw. They got a nice chunk that enabled them to get the first down. Once they got that breathing room, then they got their play calling in motion. And so to have the guts to call that pass play at the goal line, set this whole thing up.
Quick little throw to Justin Luke, got them going, and they're trying a little onside pop kick, and ball loose at the 40, inside the 40 at the 36-yard line of the Eagles, and there's a big scrum.
Still loose. Who's got it?
And they did.
I think the Eagles do have it. Boy, Mentor, Steve Trevisano was trying for just a little onside, little razzle-dazzle there, coming off of that touchdown, and came very, very close to a recovery.
That ball was jiggling around for about 3 or 4 seconds.
Justin Satterfield, who's the linebacker for Mentor, almost came up with that recovery. Wow. But the one thing here for the Eagles, they have it now at their own 36 in tremendous field position now. Out of the pistol. They'll fake the 4 money. Pass is caught right side. Simon's got it at the 41. And he'll be pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line for a gain of 8 on first down.
All right, Dino. So what hasn't this game had yet? The double reverse flea flicker and maybe a couple other
Statue of Liberty, maybe? Yeah.
I mean, this game has had so much already, and we're not even, we're barely halfway through the second quarter.
It's a 2nd and 2 now for the Eagles. Formani stands to O'Malley's left, and Joe will get the carry. He'll get the first down to the 50-yard line and gets tackled there. They'll actually spot him just shy of the 50 at the 49 of the Eagles, but more than enough for a first down. 5:30 to play, second quarter. St. Edward 14, Mentor 7. And as Dennis Manoloff just said a minute ago, it looked like it was about to be 21-0 St. Edward. Formani fumbled near the goal line, and that has completely turned the tide of this football game. Formani gets the carry, swings left side, gets to the 50, puts his head down, and goes out of bounds at about the 47-yard line of the Cardinals. So give him about 4 on that pickup, and it'll bring up second down and 6. Actually, they may actually give him an extra yard there to the 45.
You know, nobody feels worse than Formani there, but you know, you keep giving him the ball.
Yes,
and he's a really good back, so he's going to help you more than hurt you.
So they spot him at the 45 of the Cardinals, give him 6 on first down. It'll be second and 4. It'll be Foster out wide left, 2 receivers to the right. I think Malachi Watkins is your new running back. They'll fake to him, back to throw O'Malley. Has all day to throw. Looks left, caught by Wainwright at the 25-yard line and gets pushed out of bounds there. That's a gain of 20 and another first down. And all day to throw for Connor O'Malley.
I'll tell you what, Dino. O'Malley wanted, let me see if I can get his number right. He wanted his...
I think he wanted Foster.
Yeah, he wanted Foster on a deep post. And Foster was covered, and O'Malley just patiently waited, and then threw a strike to the left side.
Andrew Shaver now the running back as he stands to the left of O'Malley. They'll go 3 wide receivers. Men are showing blitz, and it'll be a keeper for O'Malley. He'll go inside the 20, and Connor will be brought down at about the 17, so he gets 7 on first down.
That's a nice little wrinkle there, the quarterback keeper.
Yeah. And after getting a quick break, Formani returns to the ball game. And Shaver will head back to the bench. Gain of 7 on first down, second and 3. Simon out wide left. It'll be Foster and Wainwright to the right. Shotgun for O'Malley. And he'll go back to Formani, who's in there now to the 15-yard line and down to the 14. And that should be enough for a first down for the Eagles.
Dino, Menor's got a serious problem, though, trying to defend, because you think about the possessions that St. Ed's has had. They've just moved the ball at will.
Right.
They had the one drive, obviously, end with a fumble at the goal line, and now here again, they're just moving the ball without much difficulty.
There's a first down for the Eagles at the Cardinal 14-yard line. Fake to Formani. They'll throw left side. I believe it's Wainwright on the catch. At about the 15 down to the 14 on the bubble screen. So very little there, if anything, on that completion.
It's a nice job by Mentor. I don't know if they sniffed it out, but they were definitely in the right place to take away that screen pass.
Yeah, no gain on the play at the 14, so it'll be second and 10. We are under 4 minutes to play in the first half. 7-point St. Edward lead, and they're trying to add on to it here. As they'll go trips to the right. Again, O'Malley with the shotgun. Second and 10. O'Malley going to roll right.
That's movement. Yep. I saw that.
Bring it back. Yeah, bring it
Ball
back.
Start.
They were still running the play.
The receivers wanted to get in the end zone before the ball was snapped. At least one of them did. Too eager.
Yep. So it'll be, instead of second and 10, second and 15, back to about the 19-yard line.
I'm sure the Mentor side, they always represent everywhere they go. So another penalty.
Second down and 15. That's been the one thing the Eagles have not done well in the first half, is avoiding the penalties.
Right.
Foster out wide left, 3 receivers to the right. Second down and 15 for Connor O'Malley, as he'll be in the pistol. Formani behind him. Formani gets they'll fake it. So O'Malley keeping it to the 10, to the 5, to the 4-yard line. And that should be, well, see where they're going to mark it at the 5. I think it's going to be very, very close to the first down, but I think where they're spotting it, it's going to be a little bit shy.
Yeah, little RPO action from O'Malley. He keeps it. The DN crashed. And you know what I like about O'Malley? He ran right to the pile. He ran right to the defenders. He didn't try to chicken out and slide or anything like that.
Third and less than a yard. It is Formani spinning, and on a second effort, let's see. I don't think he got it. They're going to mark him down at the 5, and it's going to be fourth down.
You got to go if you're.
Oh,
if you're
no question. No question.
Your offense has been so good. There's no reason to settle here. Just keep plowing.
I mean, Grant Seringer has been very good kicking field goals this year, but I tend to agree with you here. Touchdowns are what, yeah, touchdowns are what going to get you to the next round.
We'll see what our buddies to the left of us have dialed up on this play.
Mentor's defense is going to take a timeout here with 2:23 to go before a halftime. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining, but you know, I'm with you. Somebody might say, well, you're in position, just kick the field goal, try to take the points. It's 4th and less than a yard. You get the first down and get 7.
Well, especially when you're an offense at St. Ed's, it has and is that has been doing pretty much what it wants to do in this first half. So you're thinking, why can't they get a yard? It's, and I don't think it's, if they don't get it, I think they survive it. It's not like a terrible turn of momentum if they weren't to get it. But, if you're St. Ed, boy, you're thinking we've got these guys on the ropes as far as their offense to Mentor's defense.
And you're sitting there going, boy, we left 6 points on the board the last time we were down here because of the fumble.
A really nice possession up until that point.
Yeah, let's try and finish it. I mean, in this case, I almost think the easiest thing to do, just have Connor O'Malley keep it. Just get the first down. But they're going to go.
He is in the shot.
He's in the shotgun, the pistol. Yeah. Formani to his left. 4th down from the 5. 4th and about a yard. O'Malley takes a step up. Now he backs off. He'll go to Formani, and Formani will power it over for the first down inside the 4 to the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from there.
Obviously, St. Ed, trusted the big boys in the trenches to move the pile, and they did.
So it'll be 1st down and goal at the 3. Clock continues to move. We're down to 2:15 to go here in this first half. 14-7, St. Edward trying to add to the lead. And again, out of that short shotgun, O'Malley gives Formani, runs to his left, got to the 1-yard line and put down there. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1.
So now under 2 minutes to play. What a drive.
Boy, I can't wait till we get the stats at halftime, Dino. Time of possession and total yards by St. Ed. It's just impressive. The way they've been able to move the ball.
And manage the clock.
Yeah. Timely passing, a lot of running.
2nd and goal from the 1. O'Malley gives Formani in heavy traffic. Not going to get there. Push back at the 1, back near the 2. Nothing doing. 3rd down and goal. Remember, 2 timeouts remaining for each team. We're down to 1:20 on the moving clock, and somebody just took a timeout here. Let's see who. Mentor. It'll be 3rd and goal back at the 2-yard line. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. With the exception, I sound like Butch Davis here. With the exception of the 99-yard drive, the time of possession and the yard. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you knew the reference.
Other than those 2 or 3 runs, we held them in check.
Absolutely. With the exception of that 99-yard drive, the yards and the possession and all of those things you expect for St. Edward, they've done in this football game. But after the Formani fumble at the goal line, Mentor took over at the 1 and engineered a remarkable 99-yard touchdown drive.
You know what would be fascinating, Dino, is if St. Ed, knowing it's getting the ball to start the second half after deferring in the first half, if this isn't 2-down territory here. If they say, even if they're stopped, do they say, you know what, we're going for it anyway?
Because they already went for it on 4th down and about a yard from the 5, right?
I know 17-7 would feel great, but I just wonder if St. Ed's is going to keep going for the kill shots.
I kind of think so at this rate. O'Malley is out wide left. It's going to be a wildcat look here. Formani gets the direct snap up the gut to the 1, trying to spin.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it.
Put down at the 1-yard line. The Cardinal defense did a tremendous job there. It'll be a timeout taken by Mentor. and it'll be 4th and goal at the 1-yard line
there was
for
a
Tom
second,
Lombardo.
There was a second there where I thought he was going to be able to break through.
I did too.
But he got wrapped up around the ankles and tried to spin and get out of it, but wasn't able to. Now, here's the scenario we just talked about, Dino. 4th and 1. I mean, I say it's easy for me up here.
Yes.
Why not? When you're saying that
why not?
they haven't stopped you other than the turnover, why the heck not? And it looks, all indications are he's going.
He's going for it. Tom Lombardo is going to leave the offense on the field. By the way, I think that was Devin Harper amongst those who made that terrific tackle for the Cardinals there at the 1-yard line. So it sets up 4th and goal from the 1, and the Eagles are going for it. I do not see Grant Seringer in there.
This is where I wonder why teams don't more often, Dino, have the pistol or shotgun look and then have the quarterback just rush up under center.
I agree.
And plow. Here we go.
All right. They'll stay in that shotgun look. O'Malley back now at quarterback. Formani to his left. 4th and goal from the 1. Fake to Formani. O'Malley will keep it, and he's in.
He got it.
Touchdown, St. Edward on a 1-yard keeper on 4th and goal at the 1 by Connor O'Malley.
That's just hat on hat. That's Ed's linemen just plowing as hard as they can. And you almost, you had the one Mentor guy trying to trip up the running back, but what a heck of a job, O'Malley, man. This kid, wow.
And what a great response by the Eagles after the 99-yard Cardinal touchdown drive. They come back and put together a drive with a couple of 4th down conversions and polish it off with an O'Malley 1-yard touchdown plunge. Seringer's extra point is
next
up
week.
And good, yeah.
Just a bomb.
Yeah, he kicked that one to Brooklyn.
And, Dino, listen, here's the thing. I'm not saying that Coach Trevisano would not have done the same thing. But I love coaching like I just saw from Coach Lombardo.
Agreed.
Okay? Meaning, the safe play is 4th and 1 at the 1, or 4th and goal at the 1. All right, we'll go ahead and kick it. We'll get up 17-7.
Let's not leave points on the field.
Yeah, the 2-possession game and all this stuff. This isn't riverboat gambling. It's common sense. 4th and 1, your offense is really good. Go ahead and challenge your lineman to get you the yard, and that's exactly what Coach Lombardo did.
Yeah.
And he got rewarded for it. I love teams that are aggressive. Not reckless, but aggressive.
Right. And the reward is now, it's back to a 14-point lead for the Eagles with 1:04 to go before halftime. Now, Mentor used timeouts there before the end there, the end of that drive. They've got 0 timeouts remaining. So just keep that in the back of your mind here once the Cardinals get a return here. I think that was one thing with Steve Trevisano. Number one, he wanted to set up his defense and make sure his defense was ready, but also conserve time for the offense here, knowing that St. Edward is going to get the football first to start the second half. So Seringer approaches the football here, and it'll be another high kick angled to the right.
Directional again.
Yeah. Buckley at the 6-yard line goes forward to the 15 and down. Guess where? Right at the 20-yard line.
It's incredible. It's really uncanny that all of the returns have been limited and all of the starting field position for Mentor has been right around the 20.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Cardinals at their own 20 with 59 seconds to go before halftime in a 21-7 Eagles lead.
Now, here's where you do have to question, aggressiveness versus recklessness, because do you want to be too aggressive with only 59 seconds left?
Well, Kip wants to throw on 1st down, flush.
He's in trouble.
And he's going to go down. He is going to go down. Jeffrey Petrowski was going to get the sack back at about the 7-yard line. That is sack number 13 of the year for the 6'2", 240-pounder.
That's the end of that idea.
Yeah.
You better, if I'm Mentor, I'm not trying anything cute from here on out.
Nope.
Just get to halftime down 14.
Doesn't Jeff Petrowski look like somebody that Mark D'Antonio is just going to love up in East Lansing?
Yes, sir.
They'll go to Troll Bowl now. He'll run to the 10, and he's put down at the 11-yard line. And that's about it. I believe that was Lawson Nash over on the tackle. It was with help from Richard Johnson.
Dino, do you see how many timeouts left for St. Ed?
They've got 2. They're going to let it go here. 5.
That's something I don't understand.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of with you here. 2, 1, and they're going to run to Trobel here, and Trobel will go to the 25-yard line, and that's going to do it.
I mean, I guess that's respect for Mentor's offensive capabilities, but I would have called timeout there
and see if I can force them to punt.
Yeah.
Because remember, the last time Mentor punted, it was a shank.
Yeah.
But as it is, that's going to do it for the first half. Wild, entertaining, enjoyable first half. And right now, your score at the end of 2 quarters, the St. Edward Eagles 21 and the Mentor Cardinals 7. Okay, now here's the good news. It's D-Man and I can go eat. The bad news is you'll see the bands, but we don't have a crowd microphone available from where our spot is. So you will see the bands. You will not hear the bands as much as we would want, but we will get back to you here as quick as we can and get you ready for the second half and check the numbers as well. Again, 21-7, St. Ed's leads Mentor as we head to halftime here in our WKYC.com Game of the Week. As we start to get ourselves resituated here at Byers Field, welcome back, everyone. It's the WKYC.com game of the week, Division I, Region I final matchup here. The winner will move on to the Final Four next week and play in the state semis. 2 weeks, potentially 2 weeks from tonight, would be then the state championship game down in Canton at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Welcome back, everyone. Along with Dennis Manoloff, I'm Dave DeNatale. We greet you from our cramped. This is our cramped quarters here at Byers Field. Dennis Manoloff is there. CT Man's here, and yours truly is here. We're trying to keep it where at least we can. If we move over here, we can say hi to the camera.
The reason you don't see me is because we're so cramped in here. If you wanted to see me, I'd have to lean in, but I think the viewers would rather see Dave.
No. Well, what we have seen and what we've been able to describe to everybody here at the half is a pretty remarkable football game to start. 21-7 is your score. St. Edward leading Mentor. Yeah, 2 quick touchdowns by St. Edward as they got the first touchdown on the scoring pass from O'Malley to Wainwright, and then also added one O'Malley to Lombardo touchdown. And you're sitting there going, man, it's 14-0 early in the second quarter. What's going to happen? And all of a sudden, St. Edward drives for another score. It looks like they're about to get it. Formani fumbles at the goal line, virtually at the 1-yard line. Mentor goes on a 99-yard touchdown march, and suddenly we've got a brand-new football game.
Yeah, you have first and foremost, you credit the St. Ed Eagles for a terrific offense.
Yes.
I mean, it is a breathtaking offensive display to this point by St. Ed. The coaching staff has done an excellent job of calling the game. The players have done an excellent job of executing. It starts, of course, with the quarterback, who's done a really phenomenal job, O'Malley, in not only orchestrating the runs and the play fakes and all that, but his gun, his arm has been terrific. So you credit the St. Ed's offense first and foremost, but you do realize if you're Mentor, you're still in the game.
Absolutely.
You can't panic yet because you're still in it.
I mean, and I thought, as good as that response by Mentor was, they get the fumble recovery, they go down and get the touchdown on the TD pass from Ian Kipp to Luke Floria. But St. Edward had a great response, and they came right down the field, executed a couple of fourth down conversions, including 4th and 1 at the 1-yard line, 4th and goal at the 1, and they get the O'Malley touchdown run to kind of retake control of the game a little bit there to go up 14 again before halftime.
Dino, correct me if I'm wrong. After Mentor, it had to have been. After Mentor cut it to 14-7, they tried the onside kick.
Yes, absolutely.
And it almost worked, but because it didn't, it gave St. Ed decent to good field position.
Yeah, it ended up being a 64-yard drive.
But you know what, though? And I know in retrospect, St. Ed, with this offensive prowess, you say, well, wouldn't you want to force them to go on a longer field? Isn't that a risky play? No, I thought that was a okay play.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think it's, again, reckless. Has anything we've seen so far today been reckless? No.
I don't think so.
An onside kick there. I don't blame Mentor for trying it. They almost recovered it. And then, St. Ed said, okay, once you gave us a reasonably good field position, we're going to cash it in, and they did.
Because I think they thought, as Coach Trevisano said, boy, if we get the ball back, we might not have enough time before halftime, knowing that the Eagles are going to start the second half with the football, so why not, with the momentum, try to capitalize on it? It just didn't quite pan out, but it's a 14-point lead for the Eagles. Now, elsewhere around Greater Cleveland, as
I've been waiting.
Yeah, I know. Regional final night. Tyler Carey scoreboard. Here we go. Division II, Region 5. Massillon leads Hoban at the half, 17-14.
Wow.
Division II, Region 6 at the half. Avon Lake 3, Avon 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
3-3 at halftime.
You know what?
Wow.
As high scoring as those teams have been, when they play each other, that's what these games are like. I think it was 14-12 or 13-12 in the regular season. Much like this game tonight, Avon and Avon Lake played in week one to a very tight game, like Mentor and St. Edward did. It's crazy. Division 3, Region 9 at the half, Chardon 19, Aurora 8. Region 10, Mansfield in the third quarter now leading Sandusky 9-6. And then in Division 6, Mogador now trailing Springfield local 21-14. That's in the third quarter. At the half, it looks like the winner of our game here will face Pickerington Central next week because they are shutting out Groveport Madison 23-0. Tyler Carey scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen, here as the two teams have made their way back out on the field and finishing stretches here, and we'll get set to go for the second half in just a couple of moments. But, as I look at those scores, I mean, very little of that surprises me, to be honest with you.
Well, that's why I always defer to you on these scores about what surprises you and what doesn't.
I thought the gap between Hoban and Maslin had closed. Last year, Hoban had a really good senior class, and they've still got a lot of D1 talent players that are back on the team this year. But I thought Maslin had closed the gap a little bit, and that's kind of the way it looks like in this one. Whereas last year it had been like a 14-point. I think it was like a 14-point win or a 21-point win in the state championship game. A little bit different this year, but to me, Avon and Avon Lake are despite the injuries the Avons had, I think they're evenly matched.
But that's still, to me, Dino, a remarkable score.
Yes.
At halftime with two offenses capable of scoring, to have it be 3-3, and from what we know, relatively benign weather conditions. It's not like they're playing in a blizzard
no.
over there. I mean, over here it's cold but pleasant.
Yeah.
There's no real howling winds or rain
it's
or
very,
snow
very
or anything
calm
like that. So you would think that's the way it is over in Avon, and yet 6 total points. It's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, and it looks like, and again, that Chardon Aurora game, it's a little bit closer at 19-8. The difference is now for Aurora is maybe if they had been down 16-0 or maybe 19-0 in the past, it would have been tougher for them to come back. But they can throw the football, so it's a deficit like that isn't a big deal. But the problem is scoring against that Chardon defense. So we'll wait and see how that one pans out as we continue. But again, we will have a game for you next Friday night on Black Friday. We'll be somewhere, probably either with Division 2 or Division 3, depending on the matchups and the location. We'll let you know early next week where we will be. And then 2 weeks from now, it'll be state championship time again. And boy, if it's anything, D-Man, I'll tell you, if it's anything like last year, when we had that championship Friday with Kirtland, Kenston, and St. Edward on the same day. We did 3 games on the same day, all 3 local teams winning state championships. You can't ever script something like that, but if we can have something like that for us in 2 weeks, that'd be kind of fun.
I hear you, Dino, and I'll say this, maybe this is my regency bias, but good luck to whoever has to face either one of these two
agreed.
teams, because they're 2 juggernaut type outfits. And let me say this about the game we've got right here. Absolutely critical to me that Mentor force a punt on this first possession.
Agreed.
By St. Ed. I don't, even as good as Mentor is, I don't think you can go down 28-7 middle of the third and expect to come back.
Because I don't think they're going to, from a time standpoint, I don't think St. Ed's will leave you enough time to come back. I mean,
right.
not to say that Mentor couldn't put that many points on the board. Of course they can. But just from a time standpoint, there just won't be enough of it to come back and put 3 or 4 scores on the board before the end of the half, and essentially the end of the game.
Yeah, you raise a great point there, because the Ed offense that has been able to amass this yardage and these points, it's not, shall we say, a quick strike offense. It doesn't need to be. I mean, I'm sure they could, if they needed to, try the quick strike offense. But this is an offense that's capable of chewing up clock on its way to scoring points.
And I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see that approach more.
That's why coming back from 3 touchdowns in the second half is, I think, going to be insurmountable.
And you said, we talked about it at the start, and you said, hey, look, Mentor can't worry about that. But the other kind of factor in this football game that gets talked about is the fact that, like any senior that's playing in this football game, tonight could be the final game for Steve Trevisano as the head coach of the Mentor Cardinals after 23 seasons. He announced before this campaign that it was going to be his last, and it's been, to this point, Mentor's been a juggernaut. Really, there are really 2 or 3 tough games early in this season against St. Edward, against St. Ignatius, and against a team from Ontario, Mississauga. But other than that, I mean, they've steamrolled their way through the conference play in the Greater Cleveland Conference. They steamrolled past their first 2 opponents in the playoffs. And they want to keep this farewell tour going. It's like a band that doesn't want to see that break up and keep playing gigs and concerts. It's kind of like that same thing. They want to keep Steve Trevisano coaching here for a few more weeks.
Well, I'd like to talk Steve Trevisano out of this retirement.
Hey, you and me both.
I mean, my goodness gracious, he's got such a great team. And he's such a great coach. You'd like to see it continue forever,
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we start the second half as Andrew Smith will kick it off. And Joe Formani back deep to receive. Remember, last time Mentor tried an onside. This time it will be another onside attempt.
Was it, or did he just smash it off? Were they trying to smash it off the
I don't know. Now that you say that, I'd have to look at it again. It was recovered at the 40-yard line of St. Edward. I
wonder if that was an intentional attempt by the kicker to drill one of the up guys and get a carom out of it.
Michael Bubna, who wears number 50 for St. Edward, made the recovery.
Wow. Another bold move by Trevisano.
1st and 10 on the ground for Monty for the Eagles. He'll pick and weave to the 45 and is brought down near the 47-yard line, about 6 for Joe Formani on first down.
And that's, 2 cuts by Formani there. The initial jump cut, and then he gets himself some more yardage with another cut. I really like what I see out of Formani.
It is a second down and about really a long 4, closer to 5. Shotgun for O'Malley. This time Formani gets to carry left. He'll go to the 48-yard line, short yardage of about 2 on that pickup, and it will set up a 3rd down and 2.
I'll tell you what, Dino, O'Malley, he covers a lot of ground after he hands the ball off.
Yeah,
He's always going to the sideline to get his marching orders and then coming back to the huddle.
So 3rd down and about 2 here for the Eagles at their own 48. And D-Man just talked a minute ago how big it would be for Mentor if they could get a 3-and-out and get the football quickly here in this 3rd quarter, down 14. Formani gets to carry again, and he's been brought down short of the first down at the 49-yard line. Good job by the Cardinal linebackers to rush to the play.
The punt unit.
I don't either.
Oh, my gosh. Lombardo's like, you know what? We're going
for it.
This is a little bit of riverboat gambler, I think. Because you talk.
Well, let's see. No, he's going to go for you. He's got his offensive personnel in there. It's 4th and 2. They have to get inside midfield to about the 49-yard line of the Cardinals.
Wow.
Foster, wide left.
We have a possible pooch kick here.
Potentially, or a long count and try to draw the Cards off here. They're going for it. Formani gets the carry to the 50. He'll plunge to the 49. This is going to depend on the spot.
Oh, boy.
From where the side judge is marking it, I don't think he got it.
Now, which side judge is going to win this? Because the near guy says no.
Nope, they're not even going to mark it. Yeah. Mentor got it. Mentor with a stand right at midfield. They'll take over 1st and 10.
You know what's interesting is you had, from what I looked, wait a minute, hold on a second.
Oh, wait a minute, they want to measure this now, I think. Initially, they had said, nope, 1st down Mentor, and I don't think everybody on the 5-man officiating crew out on the field agreed with it. And now Steve Trevisano is about 10 yards out on the field saying, wait a minute. The side judge said it was not a 1st down, and I think. Well, let's see. Yeah, I think they're saying, Mentor football.
Say this, I thought I saw 2 different spots.
I did too.
The 2 different side judges, but
and the one on the far side
was much closer to the 1st down
line. I agree.
Or so it appeared. But they went with the short side on what's
Now
happening.
they're gonna measure this, but from where it is, he didn't get it.
Here comes the chain gang. I'm
Yeah, they're
not
gonna.
sure what we're doing here.
Yeah,
The chains moved. So this will be a big
yeah. I gotta tell. I'd be from where he needed to get inside the 50, and the ball's right at the 50. They'll stretch it out.
They got it.
Oh, the Eagles have it.
Oh,
You're kidding me.
Oh,
First down, St. Edward.
Coach Trevisano is losing it.
Well,
he is losing his mind.
And I understand his frustration. I understand his frustration.
Oh my gosh.
These officials should be
Yeah.
Coach Trevisano is losing his mind, and I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
Here come the assistants.
The assistants
to
are
pull
saying,
him back.
Triv, you got to get off the field. Trevisano is, and the wrath is on the side judge to the near side.
Oh my gosh. He's got to get back, or that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
mistakes I have ever seen.
Wow, man, that certainly looks like Mentor got the short shrift on that one.
And you may hear behind us again. They had to get, as I just said before they stretched. The chains initially were around the 49-yard line of Mentor.
This might force Coach Trevisano out of retirement to come back.
Right.
What a brutal call to go against Mentor.
I mean, you got to do it, and the fact now we're having all 6 officials on the field to have another powwow.
And now they're going to remeasure.
They're going to do this again?
This is just terrible.
This is bad.
Yeah, they've lost. The problem is now the refs have lost control of this thing now because Tom Lombardo, as he needs to do, is going to would protest on his side about this.
The 49-yard line.
Oh.
Inside the 49, closer to
And again, where the first down marker was when that play was called was inside the 50 in Mentor territory, about halfway to the 49-yard line, and then and they marked the ball right at the 50-yard line. It was nowhere near the first down.
That is a mistake that cannot go unforgiven.
Yeah, Dino, we're still waiting. See what and Lombardo is furious. He's upset about something.
And because if they're going to remeasure or respot it, I would understand why he'd be upset about this. You know, you've got to. I mean, at some point you got to be decisive and just say it's first down one way or first down the other way. We don't have instant replay in high school football yet.
They eyeballed it, and it was clear.
And they put wait a minute, what are they doing with that down marker?
The yard to gain at the 50. That is just awful.
Oh. Yeah, Tom Lombardo is still trying to get an explanation over on the far side for St. Edward, and we've got now they're saying Mentor football again.
Now it's Mentor.
Now they're saying Mentor football. Steve Trevisano just did a tap dance.
Wow. And now Coach Lombardo's got it.
And I understand why he'd be upset. I would understand why he'd be upset about it, but ultimately I think the officials made the right decision there. It should be Mentor football, but the charade there of moving the down marker and the chains around like that's crazy. Okay.
You know what?
And now look where they spot the ball.
They
move the ball up about a football length.
Right. And where the football is now, you would have made the argument that he might have got it the first down. All right.
Wow, this is crazy.
Millimeters. Inches, and now we got a flag.
Oh no!
Because I think there's a sideline warning on St. Edward. Yep.
So Lombardo's losing his mind, and he's told he's got to bring it in. Oh my gosh! You know, ultimately, I think they got it right.
I agree with
you.
But
it was one of the most circuitous paths to get
to
the correct call.
Spoken like a good newspaper man. 1st and 10 at midfield for Ian Kipp and company. The tripod's struggling again. Kipp over the middle. Pass is caught. It goes Floria to the 25, to the 20, and tripped up at about the 19-yard line. And Mentor quickly picks up 31 on a quick hookup between Ian Kipp and Luke Floria.
Kipp with the play fake, foot in the ground, dart. Just a beautiful throw to Florio.
At the 19, 1st and 10. Cardinals trying to benefit here from this good fortune after getting the stop. On the ground they'll go. Trobel to his left and then goes up the middle to about the 17-yard line. Got about 2 hard-earned yards there. It'll be 2nd and 8. But the Mentor defense now, for the second time in this football game, comes up with a critical stop. They got a fumble on Formani at the goal line in the first half, and they stop the Eagles at midfield here in the third quarter. Let's see if they can punch it in again. Kip on second down. Fake handoff. We got flags everywhere, and we're going to have a false start.
Yep. Yeah, false start. Well, Kip and the Mentor offense, ecstatic to get the ball back, and do something again. Because at the end of the half, they really didn't have much of a chance to do anything. So it had been a while since, they've been able to actually have a possession with purpose.
So now after the penalty is marked back at 2nd and 12. Kip to throw, looking, firing over the middle. A pass is caught and then knocked away at the 2-yard line. Lawson Nash knocked it away from the intended receiver.
Really nice PBU by Mr. Nash, no doubt.
They were looking again for Luke Floria, and Nash came in and made the play at the last second.
Yeah, that ball was
heck of a play.
There. It was a really nice play by Nash.
3rd and 12 for the Cardinals at the St. Ed's 22-yard line. Ian Kip in the shotgun, looks to throw, fires left side, passes caught at the 10 to about the 6. Ball came loose at the 6, but they're saying he was down.
Wow.
I believe it was Justin Luke who made the catch. It'll be a 1st and goal for Mentor at the 6-yard line.
The near side official was definitive about it, but let's see. We're showing a replay here. He said the knee was down.
That was R.J. Fulmer on the catch. And, yeah, very close. But it's 1st and goal now. And the catch by R.J. Fulmer. Shotgun for Kip. Trouble to his left. It'll be Kip on the keeper to the 5, to the 4, to the 2-yard line before Trayton Bixby brings him down from his defensive end spot.
Dino, what did I say about Mentor living dangerously? They've been on the edge here of being in serious trouble, and yet here they are, poised to punch it in and cut the deficit to 7.
Yep. Take advantage of good luck again. 2nd and goal from the 2. Kip gets a step, puts it in, touchdown. On a quarterback draw, Ian Kip from 3 yards out takes it in. Actually, we'll say from 2 yards out to make it 21-13.
I mean,
the Cardinals
at how Mentor has turned this into a one-possession game. Remarkable. But this is why Mentor is what it is. And this is why Coach Trevisano is who he is. He figures out a way to keep his team in the game.
Here's Smith for the extra point. Good snap and hold. Kick is up, and it is good. 8:13 to play here in the third quarter. 21-14. St. Edward leading Mentor. A 50-yard touchdown drive by the Cardinals.
The officials huddling up. All right, we got to recalibrate after that last possession there.
Yes, but again, the Mentor offense gets bolstered by their defense, and they take advantage of it. And that's opportunistic. They get the field position after the stop, and they get the touchdown. And again, Dennis, they did what they did in the first half when they got the fumble recovery. They went to the air on 1st down. Quick throw from Kip to Floria for 31 yards to help set up the touchdown.
Great point. And it started with the defense. We had said at half it was an absolutely essential job. Mentor had to stop St. Ed to open the second half, in my opinion, and I think in yours as well. You could not have afforded to go down 28-7, maybe even 24-7 against the offense with the capabilities of St. Ed. Mentor does what it's supposed to do. Stops them and then cashes in.
Right. And we've got a new ball game again, a 7-point St. Ed lead. Formani back deep to receive. Remember, Joe Formani has 2 touchdowns as a kick returner this year to go with the 2 receiving touchdowns and the 24 rushing touchdowns. They'll kick it to the second level, a little squib action at the 25-yard line to the 35 and out to the 37-yard line. I think it was Thomas Gergash, a senior defensive back, had a head of steam there, and by kicking it away from Formani, and that was not no onside, no squib, it just was basically a kick to the second level away from Formani. But again, the ball's right at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and Dino, that's close to a breakaway there.
Yeah,
That was very dangerous.
Gergash gets one more block, and he can run to downtown Cleveland. All right, O'Malley will go to the shotgun and keep it on first down as he fakes it to Formani, runs left, spins at the 45 and down to the 46-yard line. Devin Harper, the linebacker, came in and kind of forced O'Malley to make that spin, and it's a 6-yard gain for the Eagle quarterback.
Yeah, if we get from St. Ed what we've gotten so far, they're not going to be fazed by this.
Nope.
You know, they'll continue to call the game the way they've been calling it all game and not worry just because Mentor's within 7.
Foster goes wide right, trips wide left on second down. O'Malley will give to Formani. He'll dive ahead to the 50 and down to the 49 of the Cardinals for a first down. It was a 2nd and 3, and he got about 4 on that run. So move the football basically to where the scene of the crime was. Yeah, on the last drive at the 49-yard line of the Cardinals, and Dino, it's a first down.
I'll tell you this, Dino. I think St. Ed's is softening up Mentor for
I do too.
Over the middle. Mentor's got to be careful.
Yeah, watch that seam.
Play fake, yeah.
And from the pistol, they'll go to Formani. He'll go to the 45, head down to the 42-yard line, and got about 7 on first down. I thought they might fake it there, but it's a good run by Joe Formani on first down. Kyle Bischoff amongst those on the tackle. And it will be a 2nd down and about 3. We're under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. 21-14, it's St. Ed leading Mentor. As it'll be trips again to the left. Lombardo, Simon, and also Wainwright over there. Foster to the right. Back to Formani to the 40. First down 35 to the 30. And he'll dive ahead to about the 26-yard line. That was Marco Toth who might have prevented a touchdown there. They'll mark it at the 25. And another first down for the Eagles, courtesy of Joe Formani. Yeah, that was Toth who made the touchdown saving stop there. Otherwise, it would have been a 40-yard touchdown run for Formani. But the makings of a good response drive here, D-Man.
Once again, when you have the offensive firepower of St. Ed, you're capable of doing this stuff.
Out of the pistol with Formani behind him. They'll go back on the ground. Joe's got it to the 20, taking a couple of gray jerseys with him. They'll actually mark him short of the 20 at the 21, but he gets about 4 on first down.
Yeah, he hit the hole with a purpose there behind the big fellas.
Chambers, Stewart, Crowder, Gaychek, and Kilbane on that offensive line. And Thomas Aiden getting time tonight too.
You know, I love the backs who, and you know, you're going to get a lot of them at this time of year who are so good. You know, they don't go down on first contact, and they'll drag the defenders for a couple of yards after they're seemingly stopped.
Yeah, like Pettyjohn last week for Chardon.
Yes.
Shotgun for O'Malley now on second down as a fake handoff pops it over the middle. Pass caught at the 5 down to the 3-yard line. Foster's got it. It'll be first and goal for the Eagles on a quick hitter from Connor O'Malley to Montori Foster.
That's what we're talking about. You know, you go Formani, and boom. You know, you're eventually going to have somebody open over the middle because of the selling out to stop the running back.
Simon will go out wide to the left. Foster and Wainwright to the right. Formani to the left of O'Malley in the shotgun. First and goal from the 4. Fake. O'Malley will keep, and he'll go ahead to about the 2-yard line. About a yard or so. It'll be second and goal from there as we're under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's a 1-possession lead for the Eagles at 21-14, but they're trying to tack it back on after the Mentor touchdown. Spotted at the 2-yard line as saw Nathan Simon say something over to O'Malley here, who will go to the huddle. And it'll be second and goal from there. Again, same look to the right with Foster and Wainwright. And Formani behind O'Malley. O'Malley will give it to him. And
He's
we've got
offside.
flags, flags down everywhere.
Yeah, you had the right defensive end crashing for Mentor, but he was way early.
Yes.
Or it could have been a safety blitz there, but whoever was coming off the right edge got there early.
And so it'll be a little bit closer now on 2nd and goal here for the Eagles. We'll have a score update here from Mr. Carey in a second here as some games are undoubtedly starting to move to the 4th quarter. So we've got now, it'll be 2nd and goal now from the 1-yard line. Let's see if they go back to Formani here. Now 2 backs in the backfield. O'Malley will keep it. He'll run to his right, and he plunges in for the touchdown. Connor O'Malley from a yard out scores for the Eagles to put them up now 27-14 with 3:59 to go in the 3rd quarter.
And Dino was certainly loud enough to the left of us. We heard the coaches, one of them saying, "Great drive, great drive, great drive." It speaks to you what you were talking about, the ability of St. Ed to respond when Mentor has scored is enormous.
Yeah, they've done that on both of the Cardinal touchdowns here tonight. And Seringer comes in for the extra point. Long way to go in this one here. 3:59 to go in the 3rd quarter. As Seringer awaits the snap here. Good snap, good hold, the kick up. And Seringer puts it through.
Again, bombs it into next week.
He's not cheated on those kicks, is he?
he gets a lot of frustration out on his extra points. But here's the thing. If Mentor, as good as Mentor is, if its defense has trouble against this offense of St. Ed, pity the other teams that St. Ed's faces. Who stops these guys?
Here's what Dennis is talking about. Mentor's defense coming into tonight allowed just 11 points per contest and an average of 189 yards of total offense to their opposition per game. I mean, that's how good. And as I mentioned, coming into tonight, they had 28 takeaways and 2 defensive touchdowns. I mean, for all the talk about Kip and the offense and everything that they've done this year, Mentor's defense has been, kind of maybe the unwritten story. But tonight, they have not been able to stop St. Edward.
I mean, I can't even imagine what St. Ed's total yardage is.
I mean, it's
staggering.
Yeah, we couldn't get a number. That and the time of possession. All right, so Seringer will kick it off, and back deep for the Cardinals, Luke Floria and also Aiden Buckley. 3:59 to go in quarter number 3.
Let me guess. Mentor's going to start their next possession at the 20-yard line.
At the 20-yard line, Buckley will make the catch at the 5 with good hang time. Buckley to the 10. Buckley is going to get put down at the 11-yard line. Not even at the 20. Is well covered by the St. Edward special teams. Boy, they just do.
And listen,
all the little things are done right.
Yeah, Dino, this kicker is a weapon for St. Ed. He's done a phenomenal job.
I mean, Seringer this year, he's now with the 4 extra points tonight, 63 out of 67 in PATs, 4 out of 7 in field goals. But my partner says he pins the opposition inside the 20-yard line on kickoffs. In high school football, that's very difficult to do. All right, so back to work. We'll go Kip in the offense here for the Cardinals. They'll mark it at the Mentor 12-yard line. On first down, Ian looks. Pocket is closed. He throws, though, and the pass, they'll say it's a catch. R.J. Fulmer's got it at the 26-yard line for a first down, but I'll tell you, R.J. Fulmer was wide open.
Yeah, it was a miscomm there. The DBs for St. Ed talking to each other. Somebody missed an assignment.
Could have been a lot worse, but they do get 14 yards in the first down on the completion. As Trobel stands to Kip's left. Kip to throw, pumping once. Now fires long down the left side. He's got a man there who's caught inside the 40. Floria's got it inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line.
This Kip is something else, isn't he?
He is slinging it downfield to Luke Floria.
That looked like a 3-quarter release there. Yeah, it was pretty much a sidearm bomb.
Well, Bernie Kosar's here tonight. He, of all people, would appreciate that.
That was a Bernie Kosar release point right there.
They'll mark it at the 35 of the Eagles' first down. And they'll do a flea flicker. Throwing deep right side. He's got him. Touchdown, Luke Floria.
Are you serious? There we go.
On the flea flicker. We said they've done everything else tonight. They do a flea flicker. And it's a touchdown for Mentor. Luke Floria with the TD catch.
Unbelievable possession that was, huh?
Luke Floria
just
after he made the touchdown catch, just sprinted to the bench after making 2 back-to-back long catches, including one for a touchdown. Young man needs a breather.
I mean, Dino, they went, 89 yards in about 4 seconds?
Extra point is up, and it is good by Andrew Smith. 3:06 to go here in the third quarter. Flea flicker touchdown pass. 25 yards makes it, or 35 yards, I should say, makes it 28-21.
That's called a haymaker.
Yes.
In response to getting bludgeoned on your way down the field by St. Ed, you come back on offense and just throw haymakers. And score.
You know, it all started with Kip, like you said, on the first throw to Floria. It was that 3-quarter sidearm. You're like, wait a minute, it's not going to get to him. And Floria made a terrific adjustment and catch. And then Steve Trevisano says, all right, we're
going to do the flea flick.
Right, we just got a good fortune. Let's capitalize.
I cannot tell you, I can't describe how impressed I am by both these quarterbacks. The presence of mind they have under pressure, the ability to move around in the pocket, the accuracy is uncanny with these guys. Both of them have been accurate time and time again on deep balls, short balls, wide balls, you name it. What a performance by both these QBs. And once again, we got a game.
We got a game. Ian Kipp and Connor O'Malley just kind of trading shots back and forth. 28-21. St. Edward leading by 7. Kickoff will be, Formani will give way, and it'll be picked up by Logan Nash at the 10, out to the 15, and he'll be brought down short of the 20 because of good coverage downfield by the Mentor special teams unit.
And Coach Trevisano was pumping, and he was fired up about that tackle on special teams. The Mentor Cardinals just refuse to go away. They're like that piece of corn that gets stuck between the teeth. No matter how hard you try to get rid of them, you can't get rid of it.
I mean, you try the toothpick, you try the floss.
The tongue.
Nothing goes away.
Mentor will not go away.
3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. 28-21, St. Edward over Mentor, and the Eagles have it at their own 19. It'll be a fake to Formani. O'Malley keeps it, and he'll get maybe to the 21, maybe. I don't even think they'll be that generous. It'll be second and long. Preston Cardina on the tackle for the Cardinals.
You wonder how our guys next door calling the plays for St. Ed. How patient are they going to be? I mean, they have the lead.
Yeah.
But they don't. It's not like they have a comfort zone.
Not when it's a one possession.
Work.
Yeah. Brennan Vernon also made the stop of O'Malley. 2nd down and 9 at the 20-yard line. Fake to Formani. O'Malley to throw left side. Incomplete, looking for Lombardo at the 25-yard line. Sonny Odo was over on the coverage along with Evan Boyd. And it'll be 3rd down and 9. A big play here for the Mentor defense with 2:19 to go in the third quarter.
I think you've got to, at this stage, Dino, in this position where you're at with 3rd and long, you got to trust a conventional pass play to work. No hijinks, just a nice route, a little post or a slant, something conventional, and you got to trust your quarterback to make the throw.
Eagles with 4 wide receivers, trip to the left on 3rd and 9. O'Malley to throw, has all day. Now he's in trouble. Got to the 20, steps up, it's intercepted at the 25-yard line. Intercepted over on the right side. Coming away with the pick. Jackson Paglio, the outside linebacker, makes the interception for the Cardinals, his first of the year. And with 2:12 to play, I don't think O'Malley ever saw him. Paglio came up after he was covering Formani, and he was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, the first real mistake that O'Malley has made, in an otherwise terrific game, and it's a big one.
So now, 1st and 10, Cardinals at the 25 of the Eagles, down 7. as they'll fake it, and a throw over the left side is dropped at the 25-yard line, incomplete. And one of the rare mistakes tonight for Luke Floria. He's done everything else right, but that time he couldn't haul in that screen pass on the left, and it's 2nd and 10.
Dino, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this game is going to be tied at the end of 3 quarters. It's just...
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Mentor is just so resilient.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 10 from the 25 of the Eagles. Fake handoff, Kip rolling right, looking. He's going to run to the 20. Inside, ball comes loose, and it's going to go to St. Edward at the 18-yard line. They strip Ian Kip, pop the ball loose, and St. Edward's defense comes away with the turnover.
So much for that prediction. He got popped. He really got popped. This wasn't a strip. This was
it was a pop.
blast.
You're exactly right.
Boom, and there it was. I can't tell.
It was Donovan Stanley who forced the fumble.
Put the helmet on the ball and popped it out of the hands.
Right. So a big response by the Eagle defense after the interception by Paglio. Back and forth we go, and the Eagles take over now at their own 18. Out of the pistol, flags fly as Formani gets the carry. And they didn't stop play. They let him go to the 25. Yeah, it's probably then offsides.
Yeah, but I think that was a free play.
We'll check
offsides.
on it.
That was offsides on Mentor.
Yeah.
They gave him the play, obviously, so we'll see what St. Ed does.
Minute 53 to go, and it is indeed.
Offsides on Ed.
Wait a minute.
Right, offsides on Ed. That can't be right. Other side, Mr. Official.
That's got to be incorrect.
Yeah.
They can't. No, there's no way, right? Why would the play be allowed to continue?
Yeah. Okay, offside.
Wow. But that's the play should not.
That play should have been blown dead then, right? All right. Well, back it up 5 and make it 1st and 15. But I'm with you. I would have thought they would have blown the play dead. But
St. Ed coaches are fuming.
Yeah.
They can't believe it.
1:53 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 1-score game.
As all kinds of confusion on the Eagle offense here, and
they might need a timeout.
Yeah.
Although I don't see any movement on the play clock.
I don't either. I don't think they started
What's going on there? What's happening?
Well, yeah, one of the side judges was talking to Steve Trevisano for some reason. They still haven't.
This is bizarre.
Yes.
And now they're going to start the play clock.
Nope. Well, they haven't given the indication to wind the play clock. So, okay, there it is.
Wow.
All right, 1st and 15. Formani will get the carry. He'll bounce left to the 20, ahead to the 22, to the 23-yard line. Got about 10 there on 1st and 15. It'll be 2nd and 5. Under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. A 7-point St. Edward lead. Well, that's not a bad chunk of yardage there on 1st and 15. Now you can kind of run your gamut here up offense if you want to. Simon and Wainwright out wide right, and you've got Lombardo and Foster wide left. 2nd and 5. They'll go to Formani. He'll run to his right, crosses the 25, and moves the pile out near the 29-yard line. That's enough for an Eagle first down.
Another example of Formani moving the pile. You know, he gets into the defense and then refuses to go down.
As we approach 1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter, St. Edward 28, Mentor 21. Here at Byers Field, Bolton Stadium in Parma. The winner plays in the state semifinals next Friday, likely against Pickerington Central. O'Malley will keep on first down. He'll cross the 30 and take it out to the 34-yard line.
There was no RPO option there because the running back got out of the backfield in a hurry, and O'Malley's like, okay, I guess I got to go.
But you can kind of see what the approach is now, Dennis, is we move our way towards the 4th quarter. It's, again, back to the kind of ball control and hammer. Not to say that they wouldn't try something up top, but it's back to kind of imposing the will on the line of scrimmage. Second and about 5. Formani gets brought down behind the line of scrimmage back at the 32-yard line. He's trying to get it to him on the read option, and good pressure in by Mentor's defense to force the trip.
So hard to read the jump man uniform numbers.
Yeah, it was Greg
dark,
Perdina, the defensive end, on the stop, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. It will be 3rd and 7 to start the fourth quarter for the Eagles back at their own 32 after the stop. 3 quarters in the books in Parma. 28-21 in favor of the Eagles.
The only thing that surprised me is men are not scoring there at the end of the third quarter.
Right.
Instead fumbling. Otherwise, who knows. But it'll be, this is a huge play here. I mean, we could say that the rest of the way. Every play's huge. I get it. But if you're Mentor and you're trailing, you need to get a stop.
You got to get a stop.
As possible.
And this is where, St. Edward's had a lot of success tonight on 3rd and 4th down conversions. When they needed to get the 7 yards, they get 8 yards. When they need 1, they get 3. They've been able to execute conversions tonight. Well, this is the biggest so far here on a 3rd and 7.
And Dino, I think, Mentor's saying to itself that it can move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Mentor's worried about.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Being able to move the ball, it's can you stop St. Ed in
because you had spotted them the 14-point deficit, the 14-0 lead. They've kind of had to play from behind all night. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Can you get you need to get stops, and they've been able to force a couple of turnovers here tonight, including a fumble at the goal line by Joe Formani, and then Jackson Paglio's interception a few moments ago. But then Mentor gave it right back on the Kip fumble. That was forced by Donovan Stanley. So we start now this fourth quarter with a 3rd and 7 for the Eagles. Spotting the ball now at their own 32. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That receiver to the left is Montori Foster. 12 minutes to go for a trip to the state semis. Out of the pistol. Formani stands behind O'Malley. O'Malley looks to throw right. Fires deep right side, and it's incomplete, looking for Simon at the 46-yard line over on the right side.
Uh-oh. And O'Malley's hobbled.
I think somebody got in there after he threw the pass, and he is really, really laboring here to get off the field. But Mentor gets the stop they needed, and the big concern is going to be Connor O'Malley's condition. I think Brennan Vernon was the one who got to him after he made that throw. So Luke Florian, single safety at the 34 to wait the punt from Justin Slattery. And here comes Formani. He'll make the fair catch at the 34-yard line. And we'll start there 11 seconds into this fourth quarter.
Dino, that pass, 3rd down, it traveled a long distance, but I'm not so sure it wasn't on target. I wonder what happened there. It's hard to tell from so far away.
Because he was trying to throw it all the way over on the wide side to the right side to Simon.
It took a while to get there, but it seemed like it did get there. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it was way wide, but it looked like it was reasonably close to the target.
Trobel stands now to the right of Kip. 1st and 10 Cardinals. Down 7. In motion goes Justin Luke. So 2 receivers now to each side for Ian Kip. He'll go to Trobel on 1st down. And short yardage to the 36-yard line. Got about a yard there, and that's really about it. 2nd down and 9. Lawson Nash on the tackle from his safety spot for the Eagles.
St. Ed's continues to bottle things up in the interior.
And they've made life a little tougher on Brian Trobel, I should say, since that early part of the game. 2nd and 8. Yeah, Eagles coming here on 2nd down. The pass is caught. Floria at the 40. Breaks away at 45. Goes forward to the 46-yard line and a 1st down. A couple of nice moves by Luke Floria and a 1st down for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's tremendous quarterback play by Kip right there. He recognized the blitz, and he had his blitz beater, and he found him.
And our first final of the night here coming up here for everybody in Division 6 as they'll go back to Trobel, and he picks, he weaves, he gets to the 50-yard line, and then Richard Johnson will push him back with some help from his teammates. They'll mark it at the 50, so it's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. The Mogador Wildcats saw their season come to an end tonight. They were beaten by Springfield Local 35-21. So the Cats finish out 11-2 and lose in the regional final for the second year in a row. Last year was a heartbreaker to Kirtland, and this year to Springfield Local. Second down and about 6, right at the 50-yard line. Men are trailing by 7. With 10:23 to go in the game. Fake handoff. Kip looks deep over the middle. Incomplete at the 15-yard line. Trying to throw it down the seam, and the receiver was covered, face guarded a little bit.
And a receiver is pleading his case. He wants a pass interference, and he's not getting it.
Yeah, he wanted face guarding there, and coverage was back there by Logan Nash, and it will be 3rd down and 6.
I think St. Ed was fortunate there.
I might agree. I think, partner, you're exactly right. Well, more scores here coming up, including a big change over in Solon in Division 3. The 16-0 lead for Chardon is gone.
Wow.
Ball at midfield, 3rd down, delay blitz, and flag is down.
Oh my goodness.
Just as that ball was snapped, timeout taken by Mentor.
Logan Nash.
Logan Nash was like shot out of a cannon to ready to come in, and Mentor got that timeout. Otherwise, Ian Kipp would have been smashed on that play. Scores here now, 4th quarter. Massillon still leads Hoban 17-14. Avon has opened up a 20-3 lead on Avon Lake in the 4th quarter. Wow. Mike Elder does.
I thought you were going to say opened up a 6-3 lead.
Yeah, I know, right? Aurora, after being down 16-0 to start the game, they have taken a 22-19 lead on Chardon in the 4th quarter. Sandusky and Mansfield tied at 9 in the 4th, and Pickerington Central leading Groveport Madison. I think it's Groveport, right? It is 23-7. Just make sure I have that right. Yes, Groveport Madison. So 23-7. So again, if the winner of this one likely going to play Pickerington Central next week, probably somewhere in the Massillon area, the Mansfield area or Ashland, somewhere halfway between Greater Cleveland and Greater Columbus. So big play here now for the Cardinals. They've got a 3rd and 6 out of the timeout at midfield. Kip on the shotgun. And direct snap. It was Trobel actually got it on a Wildcat and did not fool anybody in a white jersey. The Eagles put him down at the 49-yard line for a gain of 1. The 49-yard line of St. Edward. And it's going to bring up a 4th and 5. And Steve Trevisano will send in his punt team.
Dino, I could sit in a room with Coach Trevisano and his staff for 5 hours and not teach them one thing about football. They've forgotten more than I'll ever know, but I question that call.
Yeah.
And I know it's easy to say, well, when it doesn't work, I didn't like the call from the beginning.
Stereo to punt it away. It'll be Formani in single safety at the 15-yard line. Kick will angle to the left. Actually, that's Wainwright back there, and he'll let it bounce inside the 10.
Touched it there.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Now, they marked it. They're going to say he's down at the 4, but I'm with you. I thought it touched at the 10.
Yeah, it seemed like it was much closer to the 10, and I don't know that the officials saw it.
I don't think they did.
It bounced off his thigh pad.
I'm sure Tom Lombardo saw it, but I'll tell you, after the shank earlier by Jacob Stereo, that was a terrific effort.
Yes.
Punt will be spotted at the 5-yard line, and it'll be first down from there. 28-21, St. Edward leading with 9:26 to go in the game, and they take over at their own 5. Connor O'Malley will give to Formani. Runs left, finds some room across the 10 and out to about the 12-yard line.
And O'Malley's hobbled. There's no doubt. He's
yes.
hobbled. And, he's gutting it out. The counter with Formani has just been so effective for St. Ed.
And congratulations to Bob Mahalik and his Aurora Greenmen. They have beaten Chardon tonight 22-19 and to advance to the state semis for the first time since 2012. What a comeback by the Greenmen. On second down, O'Malley wants to throw. Fires left side, it's incomplete. Was looking for Lombardo, and there was an official in the flight path of that football. It's incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. The official ended up being like another defender in there, but I'm with you. I mean, O'Malley clearly doesn't look like himself right now.
Yeah, he's got, one of his legs is not feeling too good after that previous drive. And he is, a little bit hobbled here, but he's gutting it out.
Yep. Simon will go out wide right. You've got now Foster and Wainwright out wide left. 3rd and 4 and a timeout. Whistles will blow here, and I think we're going to have a timeout taken by Tom Lombardo and the Eagles with 8:47 to go. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining in the football game. 28-21 St. Edward leading Mentor here at Byers Field at Bolton Stadium in Parma. It's Division I, Region 1 final. Next week will be the state semis, and winner of this one will play the winner of Region 3 in the state semis. Right now, it looks like that's Pickerington Central.
Not this week, baby. Also, I'd like to
I'm
see a screen.
still trying to get over the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, I mean, they had, what a start for Mitch Hewitt and the Hilltoppers, and they had so much momentum. We were down on the field with them last week. They had so much momentum, and they looked great, and they started out, obviously, tonight great. And there was one thing I thought was, well, at one point they led 19-8, and you're like, well, the thing with Aurora is they can throw the football, and they can strike quickly, and the Greenmen were able to get stops, clearly, and then able to get a couple of touchdowns in the second half to get the win. And Aurora's going to be a tough out. Aurora will play either Sandusky or Mansfield, and those 2 teams are tied next week for the right to go to the state championship. We may be at that game. We'll see how everything all plays itself out in the next couple of days here. First and foremost, out of the timeout, 3rd and 4. It'll be O'Malley giving Formani to the right. He'll get the first down as he crosses the 15 and takes it out to the 18-yard line. You got about 7 yards there on 3rd and 4, and no panic for the Eagles. They go to the bread and butter, Joe Formani, for the first down.
No counter there, just straight off the right tackle, and let's go to work. Rely on the big guys to get it done.
One thing we've noticed here in the second half, they've cleaned up the holding penalties when Formani's run the football.
Yes, they have.
Now, of course, as I say that, there'll probably be one, and then every St. Edward fan will throw something at their phone or throw their phone into their whatever it is to yell.
That was a reset on the play clock because the play clock was down to 4 for some reason, so it's been reset.
Okay, so now we're reset here, and the Eagles will go back to work. 8:25 to play here in the fourth quarter. St. Edward leads by 7 as they'll go on the ground. I believe that's Malachi Watkins across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. And that was not Formani who carried the football. And it's a gain of about 4 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and 6. Yeah, Formani's back in there. So he gets a breather. No, it's still Watkins out there. Okay. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Eagles just trying to burn time here as they'll go back on the ground to Watkins. Bounces right. Pushes the pile ahead for a yard or 2 to the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 2, and it sets up a 3rd down and about 4.
All right, Dino. So that makes me. I was just gonna say. I wonder what is going on with Formani, but he's back in.
Yeah.
So just a 2-play breather.
Just a 2-play breather.
When it becomes a multiple play breather, you start to go, all right.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, especially at this point in the ball game.
Yes.
So another 3rd down conversion opportunity here for St. Edward as they try to milk the clock as we approach 7 minutes to go in the game. They lead by 7. Out of the pistol, Formani behind O'Malley. Formani gets the carry, tries to bounce it, does so to the 30, gets the first down to the 35-yard line, and it's a gain of 11 and a first down on 3rd and 4 for Joe Formani and the St. Edward offense.
You know, I was going to say we got an injury, a Mentor player.
Yeah, Cardinal down at about the 32-yard line.
I was going to predict a run off left tackle because I saw how Mentor's defense was aligned, and there was a hole there. But I didn't want to be wrong on my prediction again after I'd been wrong that Mentor was going to tie the game. But that, to me,
I thought that was a good prediction, too, the way it was going.
I'll say this, Dino, though. That's recognition by the quarterback O'Malley to say, Lombardo. No, I got it wrong. O'Malley.
Yeah, Connor O'Malley. You're right.
That's O'Malley recognizing that he's got an opening on the left side and making sure the play call goes there.
The injured Mentor player is holding his right shoulder in tremendous amounts of pain. The injured player is Devin Harper, who we've called his number of times tonight from his linebacker spot. From the 35, it's a give to Formani. He out to the 38, maybe the 39-yard line. Got about 4, but right now the clock is the ally of the Eagles as we're down to 6:35 to go. Just trying to chunk it out and keep this clock moving with a 7-point lead.
Formani's a monster, but you knew that already.
Yeah.
He is just a beast.
He's getting stronger as this game goes. You know, that run, the 11 yards on that third down, I felt like one more, if he'd gotten one more bounce out, I think he could have scored. 2nd and 5. Long count for O'Malley. Let that play clock runs to 7. Gives to Formani. Runs left, comes back in, and takes it down to the 45, right about at that first down marker.
Never know.
Yeah, right, exactly. More finals. The Archbishop Holben Knights string of 4 consecutive state championships will come to a close. They were knocked off.
The Fighting Spielmans?
By the Fighting Spielmans, the Massillon Tigers tonight, 17-14. And the Tigers will play the Avon Eagles next week in the state semis because Avon, it's a final, beat Avon Lake 20-3.
Wow.
Congratulations to Mike Elder. Congratulations to Nate Moore. Getting their teams to the Final Four. Formani on first down. We'll go to the 49. Flags down as Formani goes down after a gain of about 4 yards.
Let's check that out.
Yeah, my friend back there, yes, your Avon Eagles are going to this. 20-3, my friend. See, Tyler Carey. Again, you're people helping people. It's a holding penalty. I knew by saying that earlier that they had cleaned up the holding penalty was going to come back to get me.
And much needed holding penalty for Mentor. I mean, to have it on St. Ed, you had to slow this drive.
Well,
some way.
And the unintended benefit of the penalty is it stops the clock with 5:25 to go. So, for the moment, that stops the Eagle Express, and that holding penalty moves it all the way back to the Eagle 37 and makes it 1st and 18. They've got to get to the 45 of the Cardinals. O'Malley, quick throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. Wide receiver fell down. It was Lombardo. He fell down, but they're throwing almost between 2 receivers, it felt like, D-Man. You had Lombardo over there, and Wainwright was over there in the same area. Yeah. 2nd down and 18. So, again, Northeast Ohio will be represented by Massillon, Avon Lake. I'm sorry, Avon, not Avon Lake, Avon. And my friend over there is an Avon Lake, an Avon supporter is going to throw something at me. Massillon, Avon, and Aurora, all victorious thus far tonight. A 4th team will join them with 5:15 to go. And so go to Malachi Watkins to the right, looked like, to the 40-yard line.
He got hit.
And he took a big shot. And they'll say keep the clock running. They'll say Watkins went down inbounds. Short gain to about the 41, got about 3. It'll be 3rd and 15. But the most important part of that is the clock still moves. We're under 5 minutes to go, but a big play coming up here for the Mentor defense. By the by, each team with 2 timeouts remaining, 28-21 St. Edward.
Dino, what do you do here? Do you play it safe and then punt, or do you go for the first down with a deep ball or a medium deep ball?
I think they're going to go. Tom Lombardo, I think, is going to go for this thing here. Nope, they'll set out a little screen. Little screen to Formani to the 40. Flag down as Formani goes down at the 41-yard line.
Yeah,
and I would assume it's another holding penalty, and Steve Trevisano will say, no thank you, and we want the football, and it is a penalty of holding against the Eagles. So big stand by the Mentor defense, helped in large part by holding penalties on St. Edward. By the way, Sandusky and Mansfield with a 9-all tie now going to overtime for the right to play Aurora next Friday night.
So there was an incomplete pass.
4:23 to go in the football game. It's a 4th and 14. And just waiting here. Now they're going to wind the clock.
Let me ask you this early on. If Trevisano and the Mentor Cardinals score, does he go for 2 in the win?
Wouldn't shock me a bit. I could absolutely see that.
It wouldn't shock me.
Instead of going for over, yes.
Not that he couldn't run with these guys in OT, but it wouldn't shock me if he goes for the win.
End over end kick. Florio's going to let it go inside the 30, inside the 25. Still rolling, and it'll roll to a dead stop right at the 20-yard line, which is where Mentor has started virtually every other drive here tonight. They need to go 80 yards in 3:51 to set up the scenario Mr. Manoloff was just talking about.
Yeah,
this is you couldn't have asked for anything better than this, though. For these two teams to come down to a one-score opportunity, and now Mentor with a chance here to tie or possibly go for the win, but they need to get 80 yards first.
That's the scenario. They might want to go for 2. You never know.
Ian Kipp ready to go. He's got Trobel to his right, first down. Trobel gets the carry to the 25, out to the 30, to the 35, 40. Trobel to the 45, across the 50, and finally put down at the 47-yard line of the Eagles. Wow. Brian Trobel with his biggest run of the night.
And, you're looking for a nice little chunk there, and instead you get a huge play.
34 on the gain by Mr. Trobel.
Right back up to the line.
3:43 to go. Quickly, Kipp with Trobel to his left. And he'll keep it to the 45. Dives ahead to the 40-yard line and put down there by Jeffrey Petrowski. But that is a gain of 6 on first down for Kipp. 2nd and 4.
We wanted a classic, and we're going to get another classic.
We're going to get it. 3:22 to go. 28-21. St. Edward leading Mentor, but the Cardinals on the move now. 2nd and 4 from the Eagle 40. Out of the shotgun, Kipp keeps to the 35 and dives ahead to the 31-yard line. He got about 9, and it's another first down for the Cardinals.
Little quarterback draw action.
Safe, effective, and now all of a sudden,
a little hole there in the middle of the line.
3 minutes to go. Kipp on a high snap, fake handoff, looks to throw, throwing for the bomb, nobody home, incomplete. I think he thought that Florio was going to do Florio was running a post, and I think he thought Florio was going to go to the outside there.
That's exactly right, Dino. He was looking for the corner route, and Florio broke it off and went in.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Clock stops, 2:53 to go in the game. 2nd and 10. Trips right for the Cardinals, one receiver left. Trobel standing to the left of quarterback Ian Kipp. Another classic between the Eagles and Cardinals, down to the wire. Fake to Trobel, Kipp to his left, to the 25, and stretches ahead to the 29 before C.J. Hankins can finally bring him down by ankles.
Kipp's a gamer, man. He's slippery.
Got about 8 on that run. 3rd and just under 2. 2:30 to go in the game. Trips right. One receiver left. Here we go again. Kipp will keep it to his right. First down to the 20-yard line and forward to the 19. He got 4 more and another first down.
Dino, he was in trouble there. That was going to go for no gain, and he cuts to his left. Stops on a dime and dives. Great play by Kipp.
2:15 and counting to play. 28-21 Eagles over the Cardinals. ball now at the 19 of St. Edward. Quarterback Ian Kipp is ready. Trouble to his right. Kipp wants to throw, setting up a screen. He's got a man open at the 5 and in for the touchdown on the wheel route.
And another one of those Kosar release points. That was fantastic. Kipp goes full sidearm on that sling, and he's right on the money.
He went on the wheel route to Brian Trouble, and he made a terrific catch for the touchdown. And it appears they're going to try to kick the extra point with 1:55 to go. But Ian Kipp to Brian Trouble, and 1:55 left in the game. The extra point will tie it. Snap, hold, kick, it's up, and it is good. All night up at 28 apiece.
Dino, my prediction of 28-28 came a little late.
But it's here.
But
you
it's
got
here.
it. You got it.
It's tied with 1:55 to go. These teams just did not disappoint. It is a phenomenal football game that we're witnessing. And once again, Kipp with the arm angle. I mean, he didn't think it was possible to hit his guy the way he was set up, and yet there goes again, we call it the Kosar arm angle because we saw it so many times with Bernie, and oh, by the way, Bernie's in the house.
Yes.
So Kipp doing Bernie proud there with that sling.
I mean, 2 or 3 of those have just been remarkable. One to Flory that helped set up a touchdown after they did a flea flicker on the next play. And then the touchdown on the wheel route to Brian Trouble was just amazing.
And if the DB is looking in at Kipp, he's saying, there's no way that guy's going to throw the ball toward me the way he's positioned. But because of his ability to go Gumby with his arm, he makes that throw.
All right.
Never know what happens on Mentor kickoffs.
No, I know.
Who knows?
They've tried a couple of onside attempts here. 1:55 to go. We're back to even at 28 apiece. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. The kick will go to the right. It is dropped at about the 8-yard line. Picked back up. Nash has it to the 15, to the 20, and goes around to the 25-yard line. All things considered, not a bad job by Logan Nash, and they'll actually spot it at the 28. It's about a 20-yard return.
Yeah, he mishandled it originally, and it almost dribbled out of bounds, and he was able to pick up an additional 20 yards after the bobble and give St. Ed a realistic look here at the 30.
St. Ed's a couple of occasions led this game by 14 points,
28.
and they'll mark it at the 28, 1st and 10. They have 2 timeouts remaining to the Eagles. Out of the pistol, trips left, O'Malley to throw. This little receiver screen right to Lombardo across the 30, and Michael will take it out to about the 32, maybe the 33. And it's...
You got to hurry now.
Yeah.
I think you got to move.
That's Foster, actually. I'm sorry, on the catch, not Lombardo.
1:30 to go. You got tick, tick, tick.
4 yards on the play, 2nd and 6. On the ground for Monty. Spins and is brought down at the line of scrimmage, and
he didn't get anything.
He didn't really get anything there. Minute 16, minute 15. Somebody going to use a timeout here, one side or the other?
No timeouts.
No.
We're at 110.
This is fast.
I'm surprised. Both sides not taking a timeout here. Would think Mentor would take one. If St. Edward doesn't get this first down, I would think that you will see the Cardinals then trying one. 3rd and 5. O'Malley pumping once, looks left, throws left. He's got Wainwright. It is incomplete at the 35-yard line in double coverage. It was knocked away. Marco Toth made the deflection, and with 48 seconds to go, it will be 4th down. And the best part for Mentor, they didn't have to use a timeout there.
I'll tell you this, Dino. Marco Toth playing it cool, calm, and collected with the PBU. I don't even know if he saw it until the last.
I don't know if he did either.
Instant.
Slattery will kick it away. Florio in single safety at his 38 with 46 seconds to go in a tie game. Florio makes the fair catch at the 31-yard line. So, I mean, you got 42 seconds and a pair of timeouts here for the Cardinals. Otherwise, we go to overtime.
you can get there. You know,
Why not?
In other
right?
words, don't play conservative. Don't play for OT. I don't think Trevisano will. When you got a guy in Kip who can throw from all angles,
Why
anything is available.
Well, and they've played all game long with their hair on fire and saying, just kind of playing to win. And I would expect no less here for the Cardinals. From the 31, first down for Kip. Pops over the middle, incomplete at the 45-yard line. Tried another sidearm pass down the seam, and it was a little too high. Incomplete.
Well, and Dino, you talk about a team playing with its hair on fire. How many times has Mentor had the ball in a tie game? I mean, they've pretty much been trailing.
They've been trailing pretty much all night, yeah.
And
Florio was the intended receiver, by the way.
Now you're sitting here and Mentor's like, gee whiz, we're tied.
Right.
And what do we do? We got the ball. Yeah.
2nd and 10, 38 seconds to go in a tie ball game. At the 31-yard line of the Cardinals, they got a 2nd and 10. Kip will keep on the draw. He'll go to the 35, and he'll be brought down by Alexander Colangelo at about the 37-yard line.
They're going to try to run something.
Yeah, they're not taking a timeout here. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Yeah, that's
the play call's taking too long to get in.
I think almost at this point now, both Steve Trevisano's playing for overtime here. As on 3rd down, almost a fumbled exchange there. He and Trobel had a problem there. And 6 seconds, 5 seconds, and yeah, Tom Lombardo will take a timeout and make Steve Trevisano decide what to do here on 4th down. Say, hey, look, you either have to go for it and run 5 seconds, or you've got it here.
And Dino, this is one of those deals where if I were Mentor, what I would do is have my quarterback in the shotgun and have him step back and fire the ball as high as he can, as deep as he can. And not even risk the punt part of it.
I wouldn't risk the punt.
Just be a quarterback and chuck a deep ball like you're in the playground, and to have the ball hang up there for more than 5 seconds.
I just saw the punter Jacob Stereo go into the huddle, so at least for the moment, let's see if that's going to be the case.
I think you saw, you did last night in the Texans-Colts game. You saw Deshaun Watson with a few seconds left in the game. Texans say no punter. We're going to have Watson just moonball it,
right,
and let the clock run out that way. But it looks like they're going to do the conventional punt.
This will be the first overtime game we've had in the 2 years of the WKYC Game of the Week, amazingly enough, if this holds form here with 5 seconds to go. Again, it's Stereo, gets the snap, and he's going to run. Now he's going to kick his block. Kick is blocked. It is picked up at the 22-yard line, but there's no time left on the clock.
Oh, my goodness.
If there had been a few more seconds on the clock, that would have been a major disaster. St. Ed's blocks the punt, but didn't have enough time on that recovery.
Dino, let me say this. I think the punter wants to run clock.
I do too.
And then he punts it, but I'll tell you what, it's a good thing he punted it. Because if he gets hit and sacked
there would have been
a
second for a change of possession. I agree with you.
I think there would have been time on the clock if he hadn't punted it, and if it hadn't been blocked, and he had been tackled, St. Ed might have had a second left.
Mansfield, by the way, we just found out, beat Sandusky in overtime 15-9. MSU commit Angelo Ghost with a 5-yard touchdown to win it for the Tigers. So they will play Aurora next Friday in the Division III state semifinal.
I mean, when was the last time you could say, Dave DeNatale, that a block of a punt was
a good
advantageous for the team that had it blocked?
I can't think of another scenario, but I'm with you. That actually worked out pretty well, all things considered, for Jacob Stereo.
I think the punter had to kick it there. I really do.
Yeah.
He could not have been
if he had tried to eat it, there would have been enough time for St. Edward to run a play.
Yeah.
But instead, now we're gonna go to overtime here at Byers Field at Bolton Stadium. I'm Dave DeNatale. Dennis Manoloff is here. Our WKYC.com Game of the Week has been everything we would have wanted. I said earlier, sequel isn't as good as the original. but sometimes Father Part 2, The Dark Knight. I mean, there are examples of this. Beverly Hills Cop 2, The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, there are examples of this. Now, the all-important coin flip will be at the 50-yard line here to see who's going to win and who goes first in overtime. And again, just to familiarize, we haven't had one of these in 2 years. I'm still amazed. I said that in 2 years of doing these games, we haven't had one. We'll start at again, it's like college football. Everybody gets a crack at it from the 25-yard line. So we'll see here, and I think I was looking over on the right. Luke Florio was looking over at Steve Trevisano, and I think it was to say, okay, if we win the toss, you want to go first or do you want to go second? And I think it is going to be.
That's huge. That's a big break.
What you need?
The other way.
There you go.
That's a big advantage. You want the ball here to start.
So it looks like it's going to be, I believe St. Edward is going to start first, and then Mentor will be up second here in overtime, 28-28. At one point in this football game, St. Edward led 14-0, and we're driving and at the goal line to go up 21-0. But Joe Formani fumbled at the goal line. It was recovered by Mentor. They went out a 99-yard touchdown drive, and since then it's been back and forth. And finally, Mentor on the wheel route touchdown pass from Ian Kipp to Brian Trobel finally tied the football game to take us to OT. They'll mark it at the 20, so I said 25. They'll get it at the 20-yard line here, and each team gets a crack at it here in this overtime. First up will be the Eagles at the 20. Simon out wide left. Two receivers to the right. Out of the pistol, O'Malley at quarterback with Joe Formani standing directly behind him. Overtime, folks. Wouldn't have it any other way between these two great rivals. Formani will get it on first down. Cuts inside at the 15. Still on his feet and finally brought down at about the 10-yard line. It will be a first down pickup by Joe Formani on first and 10 at the 20-yard line. He gets to the 10.
Yeah, tremendous job by Formani to get the extra yards to turn a 4-yard gain into a 9-yard gain.
It'll be first and goal from the 10. Simon wide right.
More than 9, right, Dino? Yeah, 11. My fault.
Yeah. It will be now Foster and Wainwright to the left. They'll go back on the ground. Formani able to fall forward to the 5-yard line on a nice piece of determined running, and it'll bring up second and goal at the 5-yard line.
It's remarkable how many yards Formani has gained tonight with his back to the end zone.
Yep.
He falls forward as well as any back I've seen.
Foster and Wainwright this time will go to the right, and it'll be Simon to the left. Second goal from the 5. Formani will stand to the left of O'Malley, who wants to throw. Looks, fires, touchdown. It's Formani making the catch.
First time we've seen that play from St. Ed. What a time to call it.
Joe Formani with his third touchdown catch of the season, and it's St. Edward striking first in overtime. Yeah, 34-28.
That was like Wheel Route Junior.
Yeah.
Just the running back hooking out of the backfield, and he was unaccounted for in part, I think, because Mentor had not seen that play all night.
All right, so Seringer for the all-important extra point.
Scout probably kick it into Euclid.
Yeah. Good snap and hold. The kick is up. Oh, Mentor had some good pressure in there, but Seringer gets it through to make it 35-28 as we go now to Mentor. And the Cardinals will get their crack. They have to get a touchdown and an extra point to keep this thing going. Otherwise, it's St. Edward with the victory.
You're more and more impressed by St. Ed. Our guys to the left, play calling, not saying, all right, we're in overtime, we've got to throw the ball. They go with what got them
bread and butter, yep,
which was Formani, and then finished it off with a pass that Mentor had not seen all night.
All right, so Mentor now must get a touchdown and an extra point to keep the game going. in overtime. St. Edward back in the lead, 35-28. From the 20 on 1st and 10. Low snap for Kip. He's got it. Rolls right. Throws right. It's incomplete. Threw it at the feet of his intended receiver at about the 16-yard line.
Live to see another day.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a wise play by Kip. He had nothing.
I think Trobel was the receiver over on that right side, 2nd and 10. As they'll move R.J. Fulmer out wide left. You've got Luke, Vernon, and Floria to the right. 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals at the 20-yard line here in overtime. They'll fake the Trobel. Kip keeps it at the 15, cuts inside to the 11, and very, very close to the first down on a nice piece of running by Ian Kip. After faking it to Brian Trobel, they'll spot it just inside the 12, so it's going to be 3rd and about 1.5 yards. Right at that right hash.
So impressed by Kip in the running game.
Trobel to the right of Kip. 4 wide receivers, including trips to the left. St. Edward showing blitz. 3rd down. Hot snap. Kip's got it. 1st down to the 10. He'll go forward to about the 8-yard line. Richard Johnson able to make the tackle, but that's a 1st down run for Kip. And it's 1st and goal for the Cardinals inside the 9.
Dino, you can't say enough about the ability of Kip to snatch those high snaps. That's a huge play right there. He makes it look easy, but it's not.
1st and goal from the 8. Cardinals need a touchdown and an extra point to keep this game going. Out of the shotgun, Ian Kip. Brian Trobel to his left. Trobel will the fake to him. Kip will keep it and get put down at the 10-yard line. Christopher Cantrell, the outside linebacker for the Eagles, on the tackle. It's a TFL back to about the 9. 2nd and goal from there.
2nd and goal from the 9.
Everything now is 4-down territory for the Cardinals. Trips left, 1 receiver right. Shotgun for Kip. Trobel now in motion. He'll go to the left with 4 wide receivers. Kip keeps it, and he's going to get put down back at the 11-yard line. Cantrell is there along with Alexander Colangelo.
Cantrell going Rudy Rudiger on back-to-back plays. They read that. They were all over Kip on that one.
Back it up now to the 11. It's 3rd and goal from there. Here in overtime, 35-28, St. Edward leading Mentor. The Cardinals down to 2 plays to save the season. And again, they'll go ahead, D-Man.
No, I was going to say, and extend Coach Trevisano's career.
Yes, keep the farewell tour alive. 3rd and goal from the 11.
Little miscom. Not the time to have it.
3 seconds on the play clock. Down to 1. They just got it off. Kip the throw. Under pressure. Fires. Incomplete. At about the 9-yard line, but they're gonna get a cornerback for St. Edward for interference.
Oh my gosh, that ball was by him already. What a break for the Mentor Cardinals. That ball was by the receiver. It wasn't even. No. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
Wow.
Cornerback Jalen Castleberry's going to get whistled, it appears, for a pass interference.
I mean, I guess by the letter of the law, you throw that flag, but that ball was past the receiver.
He didn't. If Castleberry, when he looks at that play again, like, no, you got to let that go.
Automatic 1st down.
Yep.
That's an automatic first. Move the ball
Wow.
half the distance.
Wow. For the Mentor Cardinals there.
They would have been down to their last play. It would have been 4th and goal from the 11. But again, Ian Kip able to keep a play alive, and they will mark it now half the distance to the 6-yard line.
No, wait, not automatic first
It's
down?
not automatic 1st down. It's weird pass interference, high school rules.
Sorry about that. Okay.
At least I thought it was, but it's third. It's 3rd and goal.
All right.
From the 6. Trips right in a triangle formation. 1 receiver left. 3rd and goal. Kip takes the option, keeps it himself, goes to the 1, and it's brought down there to set up 4th and goal.
Wow, here we go.
Why not?
That's right. We're down to 1 yard for all the money. Oh, we got an injury.
Yeah, we have an injured Eagle down at about the 5. They're going to mark the ball at the 2, and it's going to be 4th and goal from there.
That's Devin Crowder.
Wow.
I believe it was 56.
So we'll see. First things first, we'll see how the injured Eagle is. There are a couple of members of the training staff down there. But now, D-Man, I mean, it's 4th and goal. You would expect now it's going to be Ian Kipp's football here. Whether it's on a keeper, they almost showed an option look a couple of plays ago. It's going to be, the RPO, as you call it, the read option. And, I mean, somehow Ian Kipp's going to have an opportunity to keep this game alive, I would think.
And I know these guys, are so good. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here.
Yes.
But think about what might be going through Ian Kipp's head. This is the game here. But by the way, if my team doesn't get this, one of the great coaches in the history of the state of Ohio's career is over.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not thinking that, but it's like
at some point this week, you got to imagine these Cardinal players have been thinking about that all year long. This year was for Triv. This season's for Triv. The one thing Steve Trevisano doesn't have on his mantle, he's got about every other award and every other honor a coach can have except for a state championship.
Remember when we asked, would Trevisano go for 2 at the end of regulation?
Yes.
What about now?
Instead of going for another overtime? Yeah, I think you might think. I think you have the stoppage here for the injury timeout, and the injured Eagle is able to get off the field.
If he gets this in, I'm going to bet that he goes for 2.
I think he might too, as opposed to going for another overtime. Okay, first and foremost, though, it comes down to this. The Mentor Cardinals season is down to one play. 4th and goal at the 2. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Shotgun for Ian Kipp. He's got Brian Trobel to his right. Here we go.
Takes the snap.
Kipp's got it, keeps it, dives, and he is in. Touchdown. Ian Kipp dives just across the white line to get into the end zone for the touchdown.
And I'll say this, too. St. Ed's is looking at the far side official, wondering why he didn't signal touchdown.
I got to tell you, D-Man, looking over at the replay,
so?
Very, very close.
Well, and here's the thing. Some of the Ed's defenders were looking at the far side official, wondering why he didn't signal touchdown.
Because that's why I didn't call the touchdown initially, because he was taking his time, and I thought he would have been the one to say touchdown for sure, and it was came on the other side.
Guess what, Dino? Guess what's coming?
I think Mentor's going to go for the win right here, it looks like.
This is going to be win or lose. He's going for I love this call.
35-34, St. Edward by a point. It's all come down to a 2-point conversion for the Cardinals, it appears.
I don't care whether it works or it doesn't work. I love the call.
Why not? You know what? If it comes down to my offense and my quarterback, I don't think this team would have had it any other way. 2-point conversion for the season. If it's executed, Mentor will move on. If not, St. Edward wins. Here we go. It all comes down to one final play. Out of the shotgun, from about the 3-yard line, Kipp is ready. Claps his hands. Man in motion. It will be Kipp rolling right. Looks. He's got it. Got it. He's got it. 2-point conversion. Mentor wins. Mentor wins. Unbelievable. Luke Florio with the catch. Oh, what a play. The Mentor Cardinals win it. Unbelievable play. The Steve Trevisano farewell tour will go for another week at least.
Oh, the guts you got to have to make that call.
36-35, Mentor wins on the 2-point conversion pass from Ian Kipp to Luke Floria.
Incredible. It's a fake pop pass to one direction, and they got Kipp rolling right, and he threads the needle, and he hits the guy, his receiver, right before he goes out of bounds on a 2-point play for the season.
looking down on the field.
Incredible. There it is again.
Just watching it again.
No room to make that pass.
Nope.
He made a phenomenal throw there.
And here's a great moment, D-Man. And now that the game's over, we can share it with everybody. The on the field, and that's the scene of two great teams in an amazing chapter of this wonderful rivalry. 36-35, Mentor with the victory to advance to the state semifinals next Friday against Pickerington Central.
I mean, Dino, we're talking about a two-layered situation here. Number one, you got to have the guts to go for two there.
Yes, yeah.
And number two, that play call had 14 different things happening, and that quarterback had to make a perfect throw on the edge, on the sideline at the end zone, or your season's
over.
I mean, there's no wiggle room. There's no safety net.
But you can see it in our picture here, the Mentor players going over to the stands. I mean, it was a jam-packed crowd tonight at Byers. I mean, they got their money's worth and then some. The state championship title defense of the St. Edward is worthy champions, to say the least, but lose tonight 36-35. D-Man and I are going to try, and I don't know how long it would take us to get downstairs to try to get a post-game interview, but if we can, we will. Remarkable game.
Dino, first of all, the credit is
Yep.
But there's something to be said about Mentor's resiliency, like you said. They refused to go away. There were several times during the game where you thought it might be over for the Cardinals. They kept coming back. And then I can't say enough about the decision to go for two after the first overtime touchdown for Mentor. And then the play execution, the patience, because here's the key. Kip had to wait.
Yep.
He couldn't hurl. He had to wait. And he did, and then he threaded the needle. Unbelievable.
I mean, the degree of difficulty on that play, I think everybody was expecting, okay, Kip's just going to keep it like he did on the touchdown. He'll just, they'll direct snap it to him. He'll keep it. He'll just run it. And one way or another, that's the game. Instead, at a degree of difficulty, they fake the pop pass, and they throw it to where only Floria can get it, on the right side of the end zone.
You got Kip on a roll right, and he had to wait till that receiver got open. And, I mean, it's easy for us to say, okay, hold on to it. Meanwhile, your season's on the line.
Yes.
You know, so if he'd rushed that throw, chances are it's incomplete. And then he has to thread the needle anyway.
Right.
I mean, a phenomenal play by Kip to end the game.
Remarkable football game tonight between the Mentor Cardinals and the St. Edward Eagles. Congratulations to Steve Trevisano and the Cardinals. They will play in the state semis next week. And the season for the Eagles, again, worthy champions, the defending state champions, comes to an end with an 11 record. The Cardinals are now 13-0 and poised to go to the state semis next week.
Two phenomenal programs, and they get thing.
As we said, sometimes you don't know how these matches are going to go, and it was a remarkable playoff game tonight here at Byers Field. They'll be talking about this one for a long time to come, especially if Mentor completes the task 2 weeks from now and wins the state championship. But a lot more for them to do before we get to that point. All right, that's going to do it for us here in the booth. This was a lot of fun for us tonight. We'll see you back here somewhere next Friday, either with Division 2 probably or Division 3. We'll let you know this week where we're going to be. And then we'll just keep going from there, my friend.
What an incredible game.
All right.
That
was amazing. All right, again, your final here from Byers Field at Bolton Stadium in Parma. The Mentor Cardinals 36, the St. Edward Eagles 35. For Dennis Manoloff, I'm Dave DeNatale. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody.